Yeah. Hey. Well, yeah. Goonies never say die. You know what time it is. We got horror suspense. Listen, Kevin Trav digging in the bin. Dirty Dancing in Encino Man. You never know what you'll find in Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. He's got all these flicks from way back when. Marty McFly in the DeLorean. Gotta love the Cajun, whatever he's in. Face off Snake Eyes, you know it's a win. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, Uncle Doug's bin. What's in the bin? Yeah, let's begin.
Welcome to Uncle Doug's DVD Bin, the podcast where we take your favorite movies, give you the facts, tell you the plot, and there might even be a few jokes along the way. I'm your host, Kevin.
And I'm your host, Travis.
Now, Travis, okay, before anything else happens in this episode, I need you to control yourself, okay? I'm going to talk about Uncle Doug right now, okay?
Okay, all right. What do you got?
Just keep yourself in check. I've got to tell.
It sounds like you're about to give me bad news.
I mean, yes, it is. It is bad news for those of us who care about Uncle Doug. Okay.
I mean, I don't want him to die. I want him to come close.
Okay, but we've made some progress, and that's good to hear. I don't want you laughing, Travis. Okay.
Why would I laugh? I'm hanging out with you.
Okay, well, that feels hurtful, but we're going to move on. I went to Uncle Doug's, all right, and I needed to get a movie, obviously, for us to do the podcast. I've frankly been MVP this season, okay? I've been carrying a lot of emotional weight. I've been like a child of divorce between the two of you, okay? So I had some feelings in my own heart. Okay, when I went to
I respect that.
See,
I'm sorry that you had to. I'm sorry you had to deal with it. I truly.
Thank you. I appreciate your sympathy. And so I went and
because you're more than just a few podcasts to me. You mean a lot.
Oh, wow, that's really nice of you, Travis. Thank you. I appreciate that.
We should go fishing.
Yeah,
whenever you.
I'll bring the whiskey.
Okay.
Wink. And so I go to Uncle Doug's, and I go in. The screen door is just swinging wide, and I walk in, and he's about 3/4 of the way through a bottle of Early Times, the whiskey.
I thought that was a cough medicine.
No, it's a. Well, I mean, it tastes like cough medicine, but it's technically a whiskey, and his eyes look like somebody threw chili powder in them, like they're just red. And just tears.
Delicious.
Not delicious. He looks sad. He's been crying.
No.
He's been crying a lot. Really.
Oh,
upset.
he's upset.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he's very upset.
Oh,
and he.
Oh, I hate to hear that. Oh, that's. Okay. Oh, he's sad.
Right, now you're being sarcastic.
Oh,
okay, that's great.
You said not to laugh. I'm not laughing.
Okay, fair enough. That was my only restriction. Just don't laugh. And he does that like kind of hitching sob that people do when they're really upset, like that. Mm-hmm. And I said, Doug, what's
the Donkey Kong?
The Donkey Kong, yep. Yeah. I said, Doug, what's the matter? And he looked at me and he said, Trish done left me. Travis.
Oh, sorry.
Travis.
I'm so sorry. We saw it coming.
I know.
She stalked me at Shoney's. We saw this a mile away.
I know. But like the laughter, Travis. I asked you just not to laugh at poor Doug. He was so upset, and he said, it turns out that she met this fella named Clark down to the BP gas station, and they done run off together. And the devil of it, Travis, is that he drove a Ford. He drove a Ford F-150. That's going to tear. That's going to tear Doug up. I'm surprised Doug let this guy live. They run off. He doesn't know where they went. She left him a Dear Doug letter and was gone. And he's crying. He's drinking, and he just says, "I don't know what to do, Kevin. I hadn't been this upset since Henry."
I know a Dear Doug letter is just a letter to Doug with deer piss on it, right?
No, it was like instead of a Dear John, it was Dear Doug. But, I mean, there might have been deer piss on it. Doug has a lot of jars around his house, okay? I don't know. I didn't ask. But anyway, he was upset. He said he hadn't been this upset since Henry. And I said, "Who's Henry, Doug?" He said, "I can't talk about it right now." And he just seemed very he was in his feet. A lot of things. I've seen Doug in all kinds of emotional states, but I've never seen him cry, like really just cry. It was ugly. I'm going to be honest. Like I didn't know how to feel. I was having to confront my own emotions in the situation.
Yeah, and Henry, I don't. It's not ringing a bell.
It's like
I mean,
a whole chapter of Doug's life we didn't even know about. He never talked about
was it like
Henry.
Was it a brother or a son or is that kinfolk?
I don't think so. And he had a turned down photograph on the coffee table, and kind of when I reached for it to see, he said, "Go away from that. Go away from that." So
okay.
Okay, again with the laughing.
Well, that could have been a picture. Could have been a picture of him and Trish.
Yeah,
he's upset.
It was an old frame. This was an older frame.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, he said, "You just go on and you take that movie over there, and you just leave me be. Just leave me be, so I can get through this alone." And I was like, I guess so, Uncle Doug. Okay. And so I picked up the movie. I left, and it turns out it's one of the saddest romantic movies of all time. I assume Doug had been watching it and was also upset about the movie. Brokeback Mountain is the film that we're doing.
People should know that because I titled the episodes after the movies, so hopefully they're not surprised. Hopefully they're not surprised.
Well, I feel like people just download it just as knowing that we're a part of it. They're not worried about the movie. They're just like, no, this is Kevin and Trav. We gotta look out for the fellas.
Yeah, of course. People like us, I guess.
But anyway, I don't look. I know I'm not asking you to get back in to any sort of situation with Doug. I just trying to keep you abreast of what's going on, okay, and just letting you know where we're at.
Well, thank you. I do like to be, even though I'm not pleased with Doug. Heartbreak is tough. I hope he's kind to himself, but he can still eat. Nah, I don't care. Wow. I'm still mad. I'm still mad.
No, I understand.
Still mad.
He did say, "I wish things hadn't been that way with Travis," and I don't know what that means. I don't know if he meant the snakes or if
it's got to be
misunderstanding.
It's got to be the thing he caused. He wished he hadn't died. It shows a little bit of maybe he's coming around. I doubt it, but we'll see.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Well, anyway, just moving on. Hey, we're talking about
Clark.
Clark, yeah,
Clark. Wow,
you wouldn't think of Clark, but the love happens.
Out of all the guys that work at that BP, Clark?
Yeah, well, he's tall. I mean,
Yeah.
He's tall, and he makes you feel safe. He always laughs at my puns. So, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
He's good.
Well, yeah.
Good.
Well, he's stupid. But
okay,
yeah, you're right.
I mean, of course he is because he ended up with Trish. But,
yeah.
I guess I could say the same thing about Doug, but I wouldn't say it to his face, But
No.
Anyway, enough of Brokeback Doug there. How about we talk a little bit about Brokeback Mountain, which was released on December 9th of 2005, directed by Ang Lee, written by Annie Proulx, Larry McMurtry, Lonesome Dove, if you remember Lonesome Dove, and Deanna Osana, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, the late, great Heath Ledger, Michelle Williams, Anne Hathaway, and Randy Quaid, I believe, is in this. Is Randy Quaid or Dennis Quaid? One of them Quaids is in this one.
It's Randy.
Randy.
It's good old Randy now. Old Randy. It's Randy's in the fun movies, and Dennis Quaid's in all the sad movies.
Yeah. Well, apparently, they switchy swapped for this one. They decided.
Oh, you didn't think this movie was funny?
I didn't find a lot to laugh at in this one. There were a few funny.
There's a couple funny fellers in this movie.
Yeah.
Come on.
Now I did like the one. The ongoing bit of the kids while Ennis and Alma are arguing are just nonchalant about their parents shouting at each other. He's like, "You kids want me to push you on the sled?" They're like, on the swing. Like, "Nah, we're fine, Dad. Have a good one." I did appreciate that.
Different time. It was a different time. Yeah, kids are just raised different.
Man, speaking of different times, I saw this movie in the theater when it came out in 2005. Actually, it probably would have been early 2006 when I went and saw it, because it would have been January, and it took an emotional toll on me, man. Like, this is when the last episode of Off Kilter we did, I talked about that this is like one of my favorite romantic movies, because I like a good like tragic romance, and man, did this one get me when we were in the theater. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you know what'll get you? Brokeback Mountain will get you, dude.
It will.
I watched it in college. It was actually extra credit in one of my college classes to go see this movie. And I was, a little bumpkin, transported up to my university town. Comparatively quite progressive to my the people that where I came from, but still naive to the world. I had never seen a pair of cute dudes kiss, Kev, but not in my day. No, I'd been to several parties where the girls kiss every now and then, but God, I had never seen that. Now I was all for it. But the girl I was dating at the time, she was very, she was bisexual. She was very sexually progressive, really into the LGBT community. And when I told her, I was like, I get extra credit if I go see Brokeback Mountain. Now, I didn't know what Brokeback Mountain was. I was like, weird that my psychology professor is sending me to watch a Western. Neato. This will be nice. Yeah. And I remember she gave me a look and she was like, can I go with you? I was like, absolutely. Yeah, why not? More the merrier. And, she came and, she knew the whole time what the movie was about, and I didn't until a certain part of the film, which I will unveil more of that situation once we get to that part of the film. But I just wanted to set the backstory here. I was excited to go see a Western.
Yeah. I read, when we were kind of doing research for this movie, a plethora of stories of, like, people, middle-aged dads written this movie because they think it's just a Western instead of a romantic love story between two men. A broken, heartbreaking, wrenching
hell yeah.
And I had, this movie really was kind of like an eye-opener as far as queer cinema, to be able to kind of, a really big, successful Hollywood movie that showed two, like, rugged, very manly, not a stereotypical portrayal. I really liked it. I thought it was really good. And kind of seeing it in a theater full of people who were also being emotionally impacted by it was a pretty cool experience, man.
Yeah, I agree. I liked it when I watched it, but it was like one of those that I was happy I watched, but not one that I wanted to watch again. It tugs at the heartstrings, and it's, I don't know, it's not a movie that's entirely relatable to me, but I was able to appreciate where the narrative came from. But here we are now watching it again 20 years later. So
thanks to
happy anniversary.
Random pull of a heartbroken Doug. Well, Travis, one of the things besides our reminiscing about the wonderful years of 2005 and 2006 that I love to do with you is to get that 6 degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, I'm gonna, I would bet my entire fortune, which is vast. All right, I have many Ferraris and a platinum-plated jacuzzi. All right, I'm a very rich man, and I would be willing to bet that entire fortune that you actually did the 6 degrees of Texas Chainsaw Massacre for this film. Is that a safe bet?
Oh, of course I did. Yeah. Yeah, I did it. I didn't. Can't promise it's any good, but I did.
Now, you've been hitting home runs this season. Okay, you just keep setting the bar higher and higher. So, like, I'm excited to see what you brought.
All right, well then buckle up, sweet pony. Here we go. The first one I'm going to call, I don't know why I said that, Hopeless Romantic.
I'm just hoping you call me sweet pony for the rest of the episode. That's exciting.
Sure thing, SP. Hopeless Romantic. Now, you remember Sean Astin. He played Mikey there in The Goonies.
I do remember him, yes.
Very, romantically minded is not so much like with, any girl in particular, but just the idea of adventure, and One-Eyed Willie was really romanticized to him. So I consider him the hopeless romantic of The Goonies. And he was in a movie that has the longest and maybe worst name of a movie I've ever come across. And that's Marilyn Hotchkiss's Ballroom Dancing and Charm School. It's not a place, it's a movie. potentially based on a place. From 2006, Sean Astin was in that movie with Marissa Tomei.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so maybe worth
More
watching,
like
even though the title
Marissa
sucks.
Tomei, if you know what I mean.
More like for me. You get your hands off
Okay,
her.
I'm sorry,
all right?
I just
Get you back off.
so I'll give her my cousin Vinny, if you know what I mean.
I said you step back. Marissa Tomei was in Spider-Man Far From Home with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, she was.
Who is a hopeless romantic in this movie. I would consider him at least the more vocal about his emotions.
Yes, yeah, he is. He's the more outspoken about his emotions because Ennis hardly puts 6 words together when he speaks.
Yeah, he's tough to
Yeah,
hear.
no, that was good. That was good. I like that. And you gave it a romantic theme. You know me. You know me so well.
I connected with Marissa Tomei, and it's interesting. There's not a lot of connections between Sean Astin and Jake Gyllenhaal, two guys who are cinema studs. They have long filmography, so you'd think they would have at least shared the screen together, maybe in an off chance, but not quite.
No.
This next one I'm calling "Gone Too Soon." You can potentially guess where this is going, but
Does this involve people that died untimely?
It does. Yeah, you remember Mama Fratelli? You remember her, right?
I remember her. Yeah.
Played by the gorgeous Anne Ramsey. Gone too soon. I think she died at like 130.
Yeah.
She was in Scrooged with John Glover. Now, John Glover, not a household name. When I Googled him, I recognized him. He's very often a villain, especially around the 80s and 90s. John Glover was in RoboCop 2 with Peter Weller.
Okay. All right.
Peter Weller was in The Order, movie I've never heard of or seen, from 2003. With Heath Ledger, another one, obviously, gone too soon.
Yeah.
So that was a little harder. Anne Ramsey, from a different era, not a long filmography. Heath Ledger, short career. I had to bring in another layer to connect them. So we got there with John Glover and Peter Weller.
You know what? I appreciate it. I always like a good Peter Weller. That man he's done a lot for us. He was RoboCop.
Yeah,
great. He had all of his parts shot off for RoboCop. A lot of people don't know that. He quite literally for the film was shot into pieces just to make the movie more realistic. So I really appreciate that.
Which is why you didn't hear much of him after that. The thing about Peter Weller, his face reminds me of like an Italian shoe. It's just very shiny and leathery and smooth.
Does it still remind you of a shoe or?
I haven't seen him in a while. But yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, I got one more for you here. I'm calling it the off their rocker. Off their rocker. These are actors that have maybe in their latter years had either opinions or have actions or have produced things that are maybe a little bit, I don't know. I don't want to say tasteless, but certainly cringy in a way. We have Corey Feldman. You remember Corey Feldman was in the Goonies, right? He was Mouth. You remember?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, of course.
He was in about every
he was
movie
also,
in the 80s, right? Lost Boys.
He was. He was great in the 80s. I love Corey Feldman in the 80s. He was in Maverick, a movie that we reviewed here. I didn't realize he was even in Maverick, or I didn't remember, but he's one of the robbers in Maverick.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. He was in that with Jodie Foster. Mm-hmm. And Jodie Foster was in a movie called Foxes. Looks a little risque. I might watch it. From 1980 with one Randy Quaid. And Randy Quaid really into conspiracies and growing his beard out. And I think he's kind of got a sovereign citizen streak lately. So off his rocker a bit.
Do you think
and we all know about Corey Feldman.
The character that he played in Independence Day was kind of close to where he's landing these days?
It seemed like, honestly, that seems like when it switched for him.
He's like, you know what they read about these aliens?
He might have methoded too hard and got stuck.
Yeah, but it's pretty awesome when he's like, hey, boys, I'm back.
I do. I love Randy Quaid.
He's so good in that movie.
On screen.
Yeah, on screen. Don't know him personally. Wow, man. All right. Off their rocker. A lot of people want to make fun of like Corey Feldman these days because of his music and like his weird dancing and antics on stage. Look, he's out. Okay, it's not. I mean, objectively, it's not the best music, but my man's out here having a good time. Can't we all just celebrate that this man is still out here just having a good time, wanting to entertain people?
I mean, I can respect that. I'm a cringy entertainer and performer. I get it. But one of my favorite clips of him performing music is he's doing something with, like, I don't know if he's dancing or trying to play his guitar or something, but he loses track of where his mic is and just headbutts it, like he face plants into his microphone.
Dude.
And he's very surprised that his microphone crept up on him like that. It's quality.
Speaking of like author, Randy Quaid actually sued the producers or production company for Brokeback Mountain after it came out. It was kind of it was settled out of court, so I don't know what the ultimate result of it was. But he was like, this was supposed to be just an artistic picture, and it ended up being some kind of big blockbuster, and that's not what they told me about the movie. I assume he was doing that to get more money, like he just wanted more royalties or whatever.
Yeah,
once
so strange.
Once it was successful, but it was, I don't know.
Just out there, Randy Quaid.
He is.
What can you say?
Quaid. Maybe he's been taking some of those Quaaludes, huh?
Randy Quaid lewd.
Yeah, if he was indecent in public. Anyway, I don't know, dude. I don't know where we're going with those puns. We need Clark here to give us a good laugh. But Clark aside, how about some of those reviews, Travie boy?
Kev, I had such a great time today surfing through Letterboxd. There's a lot of really quality, fun takes on this movie. There are quite a few bad, unsavory takes on this movie. And there's honestly no in between. And I had the time of my life today. So I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to do this segment of the show. I've never enjoyed it more than I have today.
Well, I did brave Uncle Doug's sadness to get this movie. So I appreciate you being grateful. Thank you.
Yes. This first one here is a 5-star from Chloe back in November 2018, potentially the same week that my daughter was born.
Oh.
Gay people weren't invented until Jack Twist called Ennis Delmar darling. That's officially when gay people started. Was when this movie
That's when the flag was planted. It was like, here we are. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a better genesis for gay culture, so yeah, why not?
Yeah. What was Elton John up to prior to 2005? We don't know.
When did he wear the Donald Duck suit? Was that before 2005?
I don't know.
Okay. Well.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
All right.
Up next, we got 5 stars from the username Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, wow. They must like this movie.
Yes, which you would think someone who would like this movie so much might write a long diatribe, an essay, as people want to do on Letterboxd. But no, the Brokeback Mountain account with Jack Twist as their user pick simply says, "It would take the whole population of Wyoming to pull me out of Jake Gyllenhaal." We got a big Gyllenhaal fan. Well, what that was.
Like emotionally pull you out of your emotional state for Jake. No, it's not.
I don't think emotionally. No, I think it's I think it's physical.
Okay, well, you know what?
Wouldn't you have expected more on the Brokeback Mountain movie from the Brokeback Mountain username?
At least there's brevity. At least they had brevity in their comment. And they got straight to the.
I respect it.
Straight to the point, and then they kind of backed out of the point, and they went straight back to the point, and then they backed out and went straight back to it.
True. This next one here, we're getting into people who are a little bit more meh on the situation. This is from a name I hate. And I hope it's not real. Jeremy. So it's like Jeremy with an X. Jeremy Hall. Okay.
I don't hate it.
It seems like something Elon would name his kid.
Okay, I hate it.
June 3rd of 2023. Pretty good film. And for any guys out there who's homophobic and you're not sure if you want to watch this, Anne Hathaway shows her boobs. There's a little dog bone out there for anyone who's homophobic. Hey, if you're homophobic, get this. It might still be worth it.
I feel like that comment itself is like on the verge of homophobia. Like I feel like it's just
right.
It's just right on the cusp. But it is factually correct. There are a very brief topless scene with Anne Hathaway, which when I got the DVD back from you, Travis, that part of the the film was just worn out for some reason. Like it wouldn't play. Like it had been just played over and over again.
Same here. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't. I tried. I looped it back several times to try to get it to. And
weird.
It wouldn't read.
I guess that's what you get when you're watching used DVDs. It's just sometimes that happens. It was weird. It was weird that it came from you, and then I got it, and then it didn't work. Like
to be fair,
we watched it together the first time, and then you said I'm going to keep this for a while. Like it had worked, and then when I got it back from you, it didn't work. It's weird, but it's
you headed me off at the pass. I was trying to blame it on Doug there, but you're right. We did watch it together first.
Yeah. So,
Well, we got another 3-star here from Byrne, B-Y-R-N-E. This is December of 2020. Again, a 3-star coming in a little middle of the road. You know, I thought it'd be gayer.
It's funny they say that. That was kind of my original complaint when I saw the movie. Like I was like, I thought this would be a little gayer. Like this isn't like as gay as I thought it was. Like I wanted more hot, steamy, that kissing in the stairwell scene's pretty hot though. Like,
I heard, did he like almost break Jake Gyllenhaal's nose?
God, it looks like it. Like they look like they have been repressed, longing for each other for like 4 years, which is what it's supposed to be in the film.
Yeah. I heard that they were going at it there a little soft, and then Michelle Williams said, I think you guys need to be a little bit more aggressive with it, and they were, and it like literally busted up Gyllenhaal's nose.
Good. It worked. It's hot for them.
But yeah, this movie, obviously pretty gay. It's no Top Gun.
No, it's not even in the same neighborhood.
No. We got one more 3-star here. This one a little longer. This comes from someone who goes by simply Den, as in Den living room. September 1st, 2021. Not gonna lie, this was kind of boring. Also, I did not like Ennis at all. And Ennis and Jack's relationship was not as great as I'd hoped it would be. There was only like 2 scenes where they seemed like they really loved each other, and every single song on the score sounded like someone rewriting the song Blackbird.
That is a oddly specific list of complaints. I feel like
3 stars.
I feel like this Don or Den, whoever this person is, like knew Ang Lee, and he just really has like an axe to grind. Like, he just didn't like him, and he just I'm gonna find a reason to hate this wonderful movie.
Yeah. But then we got people who didn't like it.
Oh
Kev.
no! What?
Yeah,
that wasn't the person
right?
who didn't like it.
No, they give that 3 stars despite all that.
All right.
1 star coming in from one who goes by Eternal Sunshine with a 3 as the last E.
Oh wow, clever.
May 28, 2021. I really don't have much to say about this. I enjoyed seeing Heath Ledger. He is such a babe. But I thought the pacing of the film was a bit odd, and a lot of the plot points moved quickly, and I was left feeling like, okay, I guess? Not to mention the fact that they didn't seem to age. Neither of the main characters did a bit. Besides, Jack Twist's incredibly bad facial hair changing every so often.
Okay, so I'm to understand that the movie is both too fast and too slow at the same time. Incredible. What an incredible feat to achieve, Ang Lee.
They did age them, though. There was that one scene where Jake Gyllenhaal's character had sideburns. Yeah. And you know how long it takes to grow those?
It takes a while. And then they sort of in the very last scene, Heath Ledger's character had like some real rugged-looking crow's feet. I mean...
Oh, yeah. He had a little bit gray.
That just doesn't bother me that much. Like... I think adding on like any prosthetics, and they give little Jake Gyllenhaal a little pot belly as he gets a little older too. So like, come on, like they did,
dude. Plus, if
they did enough,
if they're going to bone in this movie, I want them young and ripe. I don't want to see them out there all shriveled, slapping into each other. Come on, I'm here for a good movie. All right, up next we got a 0.5 star from Marcella Abes. Check her out on LinkedIn there. 18th January 2024. Cheating, lying, and camping. Top 3 worst things that can happen to someone.
That wouldn't be as funny if she didn't throw camping on the end. Like that one, that's good. That's solid. Like that's a good comment. I don't agree with her opinion. Well, actually, I don't know. Cheating's pretty bad. Getting lied to is pretty bad. And camping is an objectively funny third thing to add there. So, you know what?
Doesn't make it a bad movie, though. I mean, it could be a fun movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Then we got one more here, Kev.
Oh, boy.
All right. This is a half star from Groggy Nicole. This is from September 2024.
Okay. All right.
They say, honestly, I don't know why I watched. I'm homophobic.
Was it for Anne Hathaway's boobs? Is that maybe they saw that
didn't
earlier
help.
comment and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna check it out. I've got at least that to wait for.
Yeah. It literally did not help their situation.
Wow.
Also, I didn't put it in the sheet, but one I found earlier today that made me laugh was I can't believe Heath Ledger was alive at some point. That was a 1-star review.
What?
I cannot believe Heath Ledger was alive at one point. I don't know why you give that 1 star.
Is that a younger person or?
I probably
They just didn't. They can't imagine being in a world with Heath Ledger. I guess. What year
Maybe.
did Heath Ledger die? That would have been.
it was like 07 maybe.
Wow,
it was right
man.
after maybe before the Batman movie came out, if I remember right.
Man, that is a shame because he is just a phenomenal actor.
I love
Him and Seymour Hoffman. Oh man, Seymour Hoffman is so good. That's such a tragedy that man passed away because he was a fantastic actor.
Mhm.
But alas, life is brutish and short, as the song says. But I'll tell you what's not. Actually, it is brutish and brutal, but not short. Is the plot of Brokeback Mountain, which we're about to jump into right now. Now, the movie's going to open up on just sort of a lonely landscape reminiscent of the West, and you get a title card that says Brokeback Mountain. Now, Travis, we're on this podcast. We are, in fact, now rating title cards. That's a thing that we're doing. I gave this 2.5 I can't quit use. Why can't I quit use, rather? Out of 5. Okay? 0 to 5. How many why can't I quit use would you give this title card?
I didn't give it any why can't I quit yous, but I gave it 2.5 high altitude.
Okay. All right. So I feel like that actually outweighs my 2.5, just as far as quality. All right. Well, moving on. We get the title card, and we see a tractor trailer, and out hops Ennis Delmar, played by Heath Ledger, and he's been doing some hitchhiking. He's got himself a little sack, presumably with maybe some food in it and whatever possessions he's decided to bring with him, and he's walks up to we also find out that the year is 1963. You do need
1963.
Yeah, in general, this whole plot is gonna take the place over about 20 years. Was their affair, and that is consistent with the short story it was based on by Annie Proulx. Pretty close. That's pretty close to her last name. If not, sorry, Annie. Call me and set me straight. So Ennis is standing outside of Aguirre's office when a busted-looking 1950s pickup comes pulling up, maybe even 1940s, and out steps a long, lean drink of water, Jake Gyllenhaal's Jack Twist. And they do what cowboy dudes do. They just stand around quietly and look at each other. No one says a word. They're just waiting for a Aguirre, who ends up being the, I guess, cattle boss or foreman for whatever, cowboy operation they end up working for, to show up. Jack Twist passes a little time by shaving in his rearview mirror, which is kind of fun.
His facial hair does change like 30 times in the movie, though. It's funny.
It does. I mean, I've had goatees and sideburns and beards, so like I can kind of relate. Well, Joe Aguirre shows up and walks right by them, just doesn't say a word, heads on in the office, and then he opens the door. He's like, "If you want this job, get in this office right now." So they head on in. And now, what is this job, Travis? Well, the job is watching sheep all summer. And he kind of lays it out for him. He's like, look, you're going to have 2 camps. All right. You're only allowed, because technically this is public land, to camp in the official campsite. So one of you is going to be illegally camping with the sheep, and the other one is going to have a base camp kind of in the official camp area. And we'll basically come in, we'll get your food order once a week, and you kind of, stay up there all summer with these sheep, all right? And he says, you want the job? They kind of nod and walk out. Okay, so this is kind of the whole setup for what they're going to be spending the summertime together. They also have still, neither character has said a word through this entire scene.
No, I haven't said a word
at all.
Would you take that job, Kev? Me and you up there watching sheep all summer. What do you think? Seems relaxing.
Yeah, no, I was thinking, can we bring like an analog pocket? Would that be?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good.
As long as we got a place to charge the batteries.
I was figuring we get one of those little solar chargers. I think that'd be enough to reboot the batteries.
Yeah, I think so.
That'd be all right.
Yeah.
And I'll bring that Hardy Boys collection that I've been wanting to read. So that'd be a nice summer, man.
Just two fellas reading Hardy Boys up in the sheep woods.
Yeah, but it's gonna be cold up in that tent though. Every once in a while, Travis. Just saying. Well. They do by non-verbalization take the job, and they know they have to be or where they have to be to meet for the job for the next day. As they leave the office of Aguirre, they kind of Jack, of course, breaks the silence first because he's the more talkative and loquacious member of this duo, and kind of introduces himself. And they must decide to go on down to the bar and get some drinks because. I mean, what else cowboys going to do the day before a cattle drive, or in this case, sheep drive?
There doesn't seem to be much else to do around here anyway besides look at sheep and get drunk doing it. So why not?
So they head down to the local watering hole, and as the audience get to know them a little bit, as they're kind of giving a slight amount of backstory, Jack Twist says he had the job last summer and like 42 sheep died. So for some reason,
they got struck by lightning. Yeah. Like what the hell?
But he got hired again, so couldn't have been that bad.
I mean, you can't stop lightning.
Yeah, well, if I'm paying you good money, I expect you to try. Well, we find out that he's done some rodeoing. His dad was a bull rider, and so he's kind of tried to, impress his dad. We find out Heath Ledger's family died, and he's more or less an orphan that was raised by his siblings, and that he's just always kind of done ranch work. So,
and no one taught him how to speak. Apparently,
no. When he
has marble mouth.
I really like what he does with this character. Like, he really shows this very like repressed character who has been damaged by his past. And he, in some of the interviews when he talked about this character, he kind of talked about that. And I just think it's so, even like the physicality is very restricted. There's only a few times that you really see him kind of like open up and be more open and relaxed and have a more fluidity to his movement rather than that like very restricted tight movement. And that's,
sometimes he blows up in anger, and even then it's kind of like, oh, he's got a pulse.
Yeah. Well, eventually they have their talk, and we cut away to the next day where they're loading up the sheep to kind of head out. And there's a little bit of like just friendly, good-natured bantering about, he has Gyllenhaal's character kind of has an ornery horse. He's like, ain't no horse can throw me. They kind of do a little bit of bro bragging there, and they load those sheep up,
cowbroing,
and they head out. And there's a lot of stuff here. We just see pretty scenery, which apparently they shot a lot of this up in Canada, but it's kind of meant to look like Wyoming. And you just a lot of if you're doing a Western, even if it's a romantic one, you got to show the landscapes. You got to have some beautiful vistas.
They do. They got a nice rolling river. I mean, they do. I mean, they brought the sheep. They put sheep in the movie. They didn't mess around. No. I could see one lightning strike now that I'm looking at it. While those sheep bundled up, I could see 50 going out.
Yeah, no,
for sure.
Big lightning strike, man. You got mutton for weeks. Well, thank you, Travis. Well, eventually they get to where they're gonna leave the sheep to graze, and they're kind of setting up camp. We see some chores being done, some cutting of wood, and some gathering of water. And at the end of that little montage, Jack is going to be the one who's going to be staying up with the sheep, so he kind of rides away, and you just get this pretty little scene where he's sat at his camp, way up on the mountain at night, and he just sees this lone little fire down there at the camp where Ennis is. And it's just, I don't know, I really like it. It's a nice, lonely shot. Like, you can kind of feel the loneliness of the two characters, particularly Gyllenhaal's character. But the next day, Ennis is cooking up some beans. Which,
dude, they go at some beans.
Yeah, well, eventually, Jack's like, "Hey, man, can you stop with the beans? Like, we've had enough." But they kind of talk future plans, what they'd like to accomplish in the future. Ennis says that he's engaged to a woman named Alma, so after he, finishes this job, he's going to marry her. And Jack, this is a little bit of a recurring theme for what we're going to call the Brokeback section of the mountain. Wait, no, the Brokeback section of the movie, rather. Where he just doesn't like the camping arrangement. Like, he hates, there being two camps. He thinks, number one, that it's illegal, and that it's kind of lame that, like, one of them has to kind of camp up by the sheep. Travis, now, if you and I were doing this, would you be upset if we were separated in this manner?
No, not at all. Dibs on the sheep, man. Get little cuddle buddies. Okay. Oh, that'd be great. All right. I'd have them all named and stuff.
Okay, I like it. You're gonna need like 400 names, but yeah, that'd be good.
You can start naming them. You can repeat names, Kevin.
Oh, it'd be like Jack 2, Jack 3, Jackie B, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
okay, I like it.
Stuff like that. Yeah, stuff like that.
So some time passes. We see some rainy day, just kind of filling of time. Ennis is doing a little carving. Jack again rides away. He's like, "No beans. Stop getting beans," and because he's tired of them. And so our next scene is Ennis meeting with the supply guy, kind of outside the mountain, and they didn't get some of the supplies they wanted. And there's a joke earlier where he's like, "I don't like soup," and so he asks for soup on this run, and the guy brings that back up. He's like, "I didn't think you ate soup." And Ennis says, "Well, I'm tired of beans." But he's not, actually. It's Jack that's tired of the beans. I think that's an interesting touch. Don't you, Travis?
Why is that an interesting touch? I mean, well, anybody can be tired of beans. It doesn't have to be one person straight to be sick of beans.
But why did he say, "I'm tired of beans," rather than Jack is tired of the beans?
Maybe he grew tired of the beans as well. Maybe he was like, you know what? Jack's got a good point. These beans are getting to me.
Or maybe he's starting to have feelings for Jack, and he doesn't want to throw Jack under the bus in this whole bean situation.
You think that matters to him?
I do. I think it does a little bit. I think it's just Ennis's way. It's his love language, Ennis's
love language is not complaining on someone else's behalf about beans.
Mm-hmm. Huh. I want to meet a man like that, frankly.
That's quite subtle, but
a man who's going to protect me when it comes to the bean shenanigans of this world. That's a man worth keeping. I'm going to tell you that right now. All right, Pinto or otherwise. Now, as Ennis is heading back to the camp, he comes across a bear, which then scares away all the pack animals. So he's going to spend a whole lot of time kind of collecting these animals, and he shows up back at camp late. It's nighttime. Jack's a little angry. He's a little hangry, right? Because he didn't have any food when he got back to camp, and he's a little drunk. So he kind of is a little mad at Ennis at first, and then he sees that Ennis is bleeding, and there's a little bit of tenderness that happens here, Travis. He takes a nice warm rag and kind of bats at Ennis's wounds a little bit and offers him some whiskey.
Yeah, I mean, you see a man bleeding. I think that's the common approach, romantic or otherwise, to help the feller feel better. You don't want your co-worker over there bleeding up all over the place. Give him a stiff drink and a warm bandage, Kev.
Travis, after your refusal to help me,
not everything's romantic.
This ends up being romantic, and I think we're seeing the seeds beginning to be planted. Okay, first of all, with the beans,
you get the rag wet, put it on the wound, then you dab a little bit of beans.
That's right,
on the wound.
I'll tell you what, a man gives me a bottle of whiskey and cleans blood off my head, I'm at least thinking twice about saying yes to a second date.
Okay, that's hey.
Just whatever. It's the way it is. So they've lost most of their food, so there's a little bit of a joking about killing some of the sheep and eating them, and you're like, you're like the worst. Jack is just suggested you're the worst shepherd ever. Like, you're just.
He makes a good point though. He's like, there's like 400 of them. They're not going to miss one. It's like,
they literally count the sheep before they go to sleep. That's a fun thing. But ultimately, they decide to go hunting, and they kill an elk, and they just feast on delicious elk,
for like 2 nights, because then the meat goes bad.
They're they've got a little rack made, and so they're like drying it out, making some jerky. Like they're it's all right. They only need to make it.
80% of the elk was wasted, but that's fine.
Well, at least they didn't go hungry those nights. Now, did they?
I guess not.
Okay. They kind of enjoy that. And the next, a little bit of time later, Jack comes back and he complains about the camping situation again. He's like, I have to basically ride all day. Like I gotta ride down
hours
here and eat, and then I gotta ride back and check on the sheep. Then I gotta ride back and eat. Then I gotta go back and bed the sheep down. Then I gotta ride back, and then I gotta ride back up there. I'm spending the whole day just riding the horse. And so Ennis says, all right, well, I don't mind doing the sheep duty. I'll take the sheep duty. And Jack's like, well, I'm a terrible cook. He's like, well, you can't be no worse than me.
I mean, all they're doing is cooking beans and making meat hot. I don't think, we got 3 ingredients. What do you...
Well, in camp again, a little time passes, and Ennis gets naked to bathe. He comes back from sheep time, and he gets naked. And
don't call it sheep time. That's
what should I call it? It's sheep time. He's up there with the sheep. It's time we spend it with the sheep. Anyway, he does get naked and bathes, and Jack is like trying his level best not to like glance over there and see what's going on, but you can see a little interest.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with peeking. We've all taken a peek.
I guess so. And eventually they kind of start to loosen up a little bit. They're kind of doing some drinking and talking around the campfire, which is something that they end up doing quite a bit of throughout the course of the movie.
It's kind of their pre and post ritual to lovemaking.
Yeah, it really is, man. It's pretty romantic, really. I mean, campfire is just notoriously, right? But Ennis recaps his childhood and about being raised by his brother and sister, and he's kind of just starting to loosen up a little bit. And Jack comments on like, that is the most I've ever heard you say.
He better loosen up.
So they do. They kind of bond a little bit. They laugh, Jack gets a little. They're talking about like rodeo riding and how Ennis's dad, thought rodeo riders were kind of
clowns.
Bunch of
clowns.
And so Jack kind of is a little drunk and gets up and he's real goofy, and they kind of laugh, and it's a good time. We kind of move on in time, and they're moving the sheep to a new grazing area, and they're kind of setting up the new camp. And after they are kind of mostly done with that, Ennis is still doing a little bit of work, but Jack is playing his harmonica, and it sounds really bad. It doesn't sound very good at all. And there's a little bit of joke about how it got squished during a rodeo.
I will say, though, what do you think about the soundtrack of this movie? Because until a couple of the comments pointed it out, I didn't really hone in on it. But I do find it strange, like the way that it kind of like weaves in the occasional guitar strum or melody, almost like a made-for-TV movie in some regard, like it's coming back from commercial. It's really weird.
It didn't stick out as weird to me because I never really paid attention to it. I'm kind of. Whenever I watch this, I'm sort of focused in on the acting performances. So, at best, I can say and acknowledge it wasn't distracting for me. I can say that. So,
okay.
I do remember it being appropriately like grandiose when they're showing landscapes and stuff like that. But other than that, it wasn't super distracting for me or anything. But it sounds like you really got an axe to grind with this music.
No, I don't know whether it's good or bad. It was just different. It wasn't like typical to like a Western score. I mean, it was Western themed, I guess, but it was just really choppy.
Well, speaking of choppy, it gets a little choppy when they get a little drunk. They're hanging out by the campfire again, drinking, and they kind of talk religion. There's a funny joke in here about the Pentecost and how Jack's mom really believes in the Pentecost, but Jack doesn't actually know what that is. They get so
I didn't
drunk.
either. I think this movie educated me.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, why don't you educate me? What's the Pentecost?
It's five. I think it means 5 cost in Latin.
Yeah, I mean, I would have gathered that, but like, what's it?
That's as far as I got.
Religion. Okay, all right. Well, you just.
I think they just believe in that.
They just believe everything
the 5
costs 5. Or
yep. Yeah,
okay.
it's a kind of a Dollar Tree situation.
Oh, nice. Well, that's good.
$5.
Ennis believes in getting good and drunk, and he's a little too drunk to go back and have some sheep time. So he ends up staying in camp, and he insists on sleeping out by the fire. He just gets an extra blanket, and he wakes up, and he's very, very, very cold. Even in summertime, up in these mountains, it gets pretty darn cold. So Jack hears him out there, his like teeth chattering and stuff, and he tells him, "Will you just get in the tent?" And Ennis is cold enough to think that's a pretty good idea. So he heads on in there, and they sleep for a while. And at some point, Jack takes Ennis's arm and kind of cuddles up to him. And this startles Ennis, and they wake up and they tussle. They tussle a little bit.
Bit of tussling.
And then they started kissing. And then they have some rough sex.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little bit of a hallmark of kind of how their relationship goes sometimes. And
he went at him. I mean, he went at him, man, and you could tell it's passionate. You know, it's abrupt. They're both super into it, and it's amazing to me because we know both of them had a pussy full of beans. And I think that nothing screams passionate love than say, "Hey, it don't matter about that. Let's just make love right here in the chilly cold tent."
Yeah. All of that stuff that you just said. And it's without being too descriptive of the act, you can watch the film for yourself.
I'm blind. Tell me what's happening.
I'll just say that they do a very is iconic position a way to say it? I'm not sure. A standard position that you would expect to see. And the reason I'm going to comment on that is that there's something that happens later that I think is pretty relevant to this particular encounter. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, from behind, maybe you could say, even.
Yeah, that works. That's a delicate way to say it. They end up satisfying their needs, and then they kind of go back to sleep. The next morning, Ennis wakes up. He's confused. He's hungover. He doesn't have his pants on. And then you could kind of like see him remembering what happened, and all that societal bias and repression kind of starts to hit him a little bit, and he doesn't exactly know what to do. So he's up early, and he gets on a horse and he just rides out. He doesn't acknowledge Jack when Jack comes out of the tent and tries to say something to him. He just kind of
I like Jack's already like, "Hey, you going to be home for supper?" It's like, "Hey, easy, man."
No, we're still hold on. This ain't as committed as you think it is. All right, just
come on. This is pretty casual. Just mountain tent guy stuff. Come on,
just settle down, Jack. He rides back up to the sheep, and one of the sheep has been killed by a predator in the night, and it's just a big gaping wound of a murder that has happened to this sheep.
Looks pretty rough.
Yeah, it looks pretty rough. And there's like a dog that's just like, "I tried to stop it, but what do you want me to do? I'm just a dog." Back at camp, Jack is naked, washing and cleaning his clothes.
Cleaning all the bean juice out of it, I bet.
Yeah, well, he did get tired of those beans. Later, Ennis kind of heads back to camp, and they have to. They're not back to camp. They kind of meet up halfway or something like that. I can't remember. It's on a nice hillside. They got to talk about it. They got to talk about what happened. They just can't awkwardly live in silence for the next few months. But Ennis says that it was a one-shot thing, and they both kind of agree on that. And they both agree that neither one of them is queer, which is
yeah, obviously, yeah.
You're like, come on, guys, like. I mean, again, you're talking about societal repression, and they're both, you see that, like, just pull of them wanting to not be what they are. And I mean, I think that's the ultimate tragedy of the film. And, like, they're echoing the words of their fathers or their, predecessors as far as, that feeling, right?
Yeah, and a bit of denial. But, I mean, even us as bystanders, we saw them get in position without communicating.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you guys were meant to be.
I feel like this might have been Ennis's first tryst, but I don't think it's Jack's.
Jack seems much more forward about it, as if he's a little more comfortable in the space. Yeah, you're right.
So, back in camp, they have come to the understanding that this is just a Brokeback thing. This is just a sheep time thing. We're gonna just enjoy it while it's happening. And so, back in camp, they have much more romantic sex this time. It's not just like straight to the raw poundingness of it. It's more like kissing.
Yeah, a little bit of a lead up, a little foreplay, a little bit of cuddling, and it's sweet. It's sweet.
It's nicer. This is a more lovely scene. And then so we get that scene, and then the next day they're out doing some shirtless wrestling, and Aguirre sees it. All right, he sees it from a distance. He's kind of spying on him a little bit, but he ostensibly
a little bit.
But ostensibly,
and I will say there ain't. Honestly, I don't know if there's much gayer in this movie than his mustache.
Than Randy Quaid's mustache?
He needs to check himself. If he's going to pass judgment, look in the mirror, Randy.
I don't know what it is with you and the facial hair in this movie. Like, at best, I noticed it is not distracting. Jake's mustache later is very distracting.
It is hard, Kevin, to make a comedy podcast out of this movie and be tasteful. Give me the facial hair. Give me the facial hair. I'm trying to be as above board as possible.
Okay, fair enough, man. Well, if you can't laugh in the face of tragedy, when can you laugh? But Aguirre shows up and he tells Twist that his uncle is dying and then just leaves. Like, because it's like, he's got to stay up here with the sheep, so he can't really do anything. But we get the sense that Aguirre is a little suspicious about what his two employees are up to in those mountains.
They're just wrestling. Just nothing wrong with that. Two guys get bored.
They do. I mean, you and me probably be wrestling before the first week's out.
Heck yeah, I'd be like, Kev, teach me some shirtless Krav Maga.
Yeah, dude.
You probably know
Let's do it.
Or Tim McGraw. I don't know what it is. Teach me something shirtless.
I know more Tim McGraw than I do Krav Maga. Well, there's a big rain and hailstorm, some just real bad weather, and they end up being not able to tend to the sheep while that's going on, and they find the sheep have just been totally mixed up with another herd of, I believe it's Chilean ranchers. They're sheep.
What a mess.
So they got to separate them out. It seems like it's a huge pain in the butt, but
God, it would be.
They're pretty good natured about it. So
I don't know if the term could apply to anything more aptly than getting two herds of sheep confused.
God, that would be. And then like the brand, I think, is washed off of some of the sheep, so they're just not really sure.
You just got to put them through a draft.
Yeah, there's what, like for the NBA or
yeah. You just take turns picking which
one of these
sheep you want on your
jump
team.
the highest. That's the that's the one I want.
Yeah.
Back up in the mountains where the sheep are. Ennis has stayed up there that night. He wakes up and it's just ice cold, freezing, just a foot of snow, just real bad mountain weather. And so he kind of heads back down to camp. Where Jack is packing everything up, and Jack tells him, "Well, Aguirre came out and basically said we got to pack up. There's another really bad storm, so they're not gonna graze the sheep up here anymore. So the job's over." And Ennis gets very upset. He says it's because of the loss of income. Right, because
they're costing him a month's pay, Kev. That's tough on a cattle rancher in '63. Come on.
Yeah, but he's also.
You think it's for the loving?
I do. I think it's a little bit the loving. I think he's like.
I think a man needs income.
I get the income thing, but I do think he has grown very attached to Jake Gyllenhaal's character of Jack Twist. So next scene is Ennis is sitting up on the mountain or up on the hill looking kind of sad, and Jack is trying to cheer him up and doing this little like kind of joking with the rope.
Pretending to lasso him with which I would have beat the of him if he did that to me twice. If he trips me up with the lasso, it ain't gonna be no loving.
Well, that's. I
said quit. I said quit doing it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just thought we were doing something fun with the lasso. I didn't know you were getting so upset.
trying to enjoy this damn vista. I ain't got no money. And you're trying to lasso and kiss me.
If you would just say words every once in a while, Ennis, we know you were mad, okay? You always look mad. It's hard to tell.
I don't want to do it. Hey, leave me alone. Come and give me a kiss.
All right. Okay.
Give me a kiss.
Well, anyway, he tries to lasso Ennis, and Ennis is a little irritated. They start tussling, and instead of it turning into loving this time, it turns into fighting. And Ennis gets his nose busted, and Jack Twist gets punched in the head as he's trying to tend the wound that he's inflicted on Ennis, trying to sort of a call back to him, being attentive to him earlier, and Ennis cracks him one, and they both end up with a little bit of blood on the shirt from Enos's nose, and Ennis thinks he changes his shirt. He thinks he's left that shirt up on Brokeback Mountain. He acknowledges that he can't believe he left his shirt behind.
It's his favorite shirt.
And anyway, they come back later, and they drop those sheep off. Randy Quaid's Aguirre is like, yeah, some of these sheep didn't go up there with you guys. These are different sheep. That's kind of a problem. And then he's like, I still lost too many sheep.
These sheep have names. What's going on
this
with these?
Jack, this was Jack 2, Jack 3, this was Jackie B. What's going on? He also, some sheep died, so he came back with less. So anyway, presumably they got paid something, but maybe not as much as they thought. So they are now at the point where they've got to say goodbye to each other. Okay, so they're outside of Aguirre's office. Jack is trying to get his truck started. Enos sort of helps him with it, and Jack just floats the question. He's like, well, hey, what about next summer? You think you might come back? And he's kind of hopeful. And Enos says, no, I don't think so. And he says, I guess I'll see you around. And you can see a little, I don't know, there's some feelings going on here when they split up. Enos is walking away, Jack's getting in his truck, and there's a nice shot here that I really like where Jack is kind of driving away. He's got the bruise on his cheek where he's been punched by Enos, and he just sees this lonely silhouette of Enos in his rear view as he's driving away.
Yeah, I like that shot. Yeah, but then this next shot, this is like the emotional kick in the old nuts.
Yeah. Enos,
I bet no one's ever punched a concrete wall over me, Kevin. That makes me sad.
I mean, I'll punch a concrete wall right now. Just cheer you right up, bud.
3 times, just punches that concrete wall, and this other guy walks by. He's like, "Who's over there punching that wall?" And he's like, "Go get."
That's just Enos gets physically ill. He gets sick on his stomach because he's so upset.
Yeah.
I love this because this is, again, you get these little, he's so repressed, and you get these little glimpses of these explosions that happen with him, and this is one of them where he's so repressed, he's fighting so hard to keep these emotions down. He's literally vomiting, he's throwing up. He's trying so hard. He punches that wall, and he's just waiting for this guy that walks by to say something so he can fight him and let that out in a way that feels safer to him. It's very, very, very intense scene.
So to swallow all that down, he just marries a woman.
He does. Very next scene, we cut to Enos marrying Alma, played by Michelle Williams. And she's just cute. She's just as cute as can be in this movie. She's going to end up being quite a long-suffering wife. But in the beginning, they're very happy. They're kind of riding the sled, and they start tussling, much like her and it's a winter scene. We get a little passage of time, and they're kind of tussling, and Enos starts to get a little rough, and then he's sort of reliving that moment with Jack, in his mind, and then he kind of dials it back a little bit, and we see just life stuff happening. Enos is out here working, and they go out to a nice movie, and we get the information that Alma is now pregnant. Some more time has passed. She's got a little belly on her, and he's feeling the baby kick.
Probably is.
I would guess so. Yeah. Well, next summer, Jack shows up at Aguirre's office looking for that particular job. And this is where we find out where Randy Quaid's character Aguirre knew what was going on. And he says, I don't have any work for you. You were supposed to be watching the sheep. Instead, you were up there. He says something about a rose, like stemming the rose or trimming the rose. I'd never heard the term before, but I'm pretty sure he means having sex. I'm pretty sure is what that term means. Stemmed the rose, something like that.
I didn't get it. I don't speak adages. He should have just been up front and been like, I saw y'all up there, slick naked hot boy wrestling up near the sheep.
Well, apparently that's what stemming the rose means. So before he leaves, though, Jack is like, you haven't seen Ennis, have you? And he says, no. Now get. So we find out that happens. We cut back to Ennis's, and he's just living that domestic life. You know, he's got his wife at home and a couple of crying twins. They had twin babies. And he kind of, tends to them a little bit, and they've, finally gotten to sleep. And Alma and he are in the bedroom. Alma really wants to move to town. She doesn't like living out, in the sticks like this. She wants to move into town and, have a little bit more of a, I don't want to say regular life, but just more people around, people for the kids to play with, that sort of thing.
That was the big thing.
Yeah. Ultimately, she's going to win that conversation. She's like, there's a nice little apartment over top of the laundromat or something like that. And ultimately, she's going to win that argument. But she's kissing him and hugging on him. And they have sex. And they have sex in a way that replicates Ennis's first time with Jack. Now, this is the thing I was talking about earlier with the position. Like, it's very similar to that, and you're like, this man is thinking about somebody else. He is not thinking about his wife. He's thinking about
he got
Jack.
Under center. Yeah, he didn't do no missionary. He went under center there. So it was interesting.
So, you get these hints while they're apart these 4 years that they're still kind of thinking about each other, right?
It takes her by surprise too. She had always done shotgun, and for him to go into an I formation, I don't think she was like, I don't think we've ever called that play. She was a little taken aback by it.
Well, they've got a whole new defensive coordinator this year, and just really doing some innovative stuff with the team. Just really,
guys try stuff, but I think back in the 60s, this, repressed type of individual is just missionary all day until he ain't, and then one day he just comes home and she's like, oh my God, what's God did? You're going to have to go to church twice tomorrow.
What a surprise that was, huh? Well, moving along, the next scene that we see is Jack is out just rodeoing. He's out riding bulls.
Oh yeah, he's into it, bud.
Yeah, he's having a good time. He's doing as good as he can. So after the rodeo, Jack's at a bar and he sees the rodeo clown, and he has a very odd interaction with him. He's, again, this was a time, and we're going to get to this later, but where being a gay man could just get you killed. It just,
especially in this part of the country.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a very hostile environment, and so he's very almost in code, sort of trying to find a relationship with this rodeo clown, and it's a very strange interaction. The clown doesn't want anything to do with him, and kind of leaves. And then the bartender's trying to talk to him, and he's like, do I look like I can afford a horse or something like that? He just snaps at the bartender because he's
the bartender drops the gayest pickup line I've ever heard. Like, you ever been into calf roping? I know what you're getting at. Okay, come on.
I get you. Well,
but he does look like he can afford a horse. That's a nice hat.
It is. He dresses pretty good. He's still wearing that same shirt he wore on Brokeback.
Canadian tuxedo.
He dresses a little like Jay Leno on Jay Leno's Garage. If you've ever watched his YouTube channel, just to give you the picture. But we're gonna cut away to again Ennis's life, and it's the 4th of July, and I assume that every small town's like this. I know mine is, where there's a local fireworks show at the high school, and they're kind of at this event, and there's just some loud, rude dudes behind them just saying all kinds of nasty things.
These guys are so rude.
And he's with his family, and he says one time he's like, "Hey, you need to keep it down," and they're like, "No, F you, we're not doing that." And then Ennis just gets up and beats the crap out of him. There's this great scene, and this is one of those few scenes where you see him fully not loosened up, but in his violence, he's very open. He's not restricted. He's not repressed. And it's a great scene where he just straight up like wheel kicks this dude in the face with fireworks going off in the background. I think I cheered out loud in the theater when he did it.
It's awesome. I love how he calmly hands her a baby. He's like, "Here, you want to hold this for a second? I'm about to kick 2 guys in the ass." Then he does. It is awesome. It's a good scene.
He's like, "You want to?"
And those guys are like, "No, I don't want any part of you. Good God."
Yeah. Yes, I'm good. I'm sorry. I made poor decisions this evening. I'm gonna get Leland out of here.
I'm gonna call a hotline. I'm gonna get help. I'm sorry.
This is where I make the change. This is my rock bottom. So those 2 guys, they go off into their own movie where they turn their lives around. Well, the next scene that we cut to is at a rodeo, and we see a talented barrel rider. Her name ends up being Lurleen Newsome, Anne Hathaway's character. And Travis, she sure can ride that horse, can't she?
Buddy, I do like me. If I could beat anybody in this movie, it'd be the horse.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, she drops her hat as she's kind of leaving the barrel riding rink, and Jack Twist picks it up and hands it back to her, and she smiles and winks at him.
I love her smile. That's what it is for me. It's her. She's got a lovely
She has a little bit of a Cheshire grin, and it is kind of charming.
I equate it to like Julia Roberts has kind of that same captivating, like wide smile. I think that's what's doing it for me.
I feel like you just really want women to be happy to see you. Like I feel like
I do. Please just stop being so foul and sour when I enter the room. Just a big old grin, please.
Well, I'll pray for you, bud, that happens. But a little later on, Lurleen's watching Jack ride the bull, and then you can tell she's a little interested. He's a pretty good bull rider, and we cut to the bar that he tried to meet the rodeo clown in earlier, and Jack kind of finds out a little information about Lurleen. Turns out her family's loaded. Her daddy sells like good farm equipment. I mean, we're talking like expensive.
Yeah, that's right. Like, I don't know, the John Deere maybe. That's expensive, probably.
Yeah, probably. So after he kind of finds that out, he turns around, and who is standing there but Lurleen? And Lurleen actually asks him to dance. She does the forward motion in this particular relationship. Forward motion in that they go dancing, and then they go parking, and then they get to the business right away.
Yeah, buddy. And
I love
it's a good time.
There is a laugh out line, or at least for me, a laugh out loud line in this scene where she's like, "Oh my gosh, do you think I'm going too fast?" And he goes, "Fast or slow? I just like the direction."
That's a good line. I like that line.
Solid. So they do.
Man, this guy, he gets to bone both Heath Ledger and Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
What? You expect me to feel sorry for this guy at any point in this movie? Come on now.
I mean, he literally gets beaten to death, Travis. Yes, I think you should feel sorry for him. And he can't, because of society, he can't be with the person he really loves. Yes, I think you should feel bad for him.
I get it. But
that mustache is stupid, ain't it?
I would say, if you ask me, would you rather, if you could be with Anne Hathaway and Heath Ledger, but you had to be beat to death, would you take it? I would say yes.
That's not a deal I'd make. I just,
Oh, beat me to death. Please.
All right.
The two of them?
Oh, well,
make me a sandwich.
Somewhere right now, Satan's taking notes, okay? And he's going to tempt you one day, Travis. All right? I'm going to tempt you. Well, anyway, they do the boom boom. They make the love. And we cut back to Ennis, and his wife, Alma, has gotten a job at the grocery store, but of course his cowboying has to take precedence. So he just drops the kids off at the grocery store, and one of the kids knocks over just a bunch of glass jars, and that's when the manager of the grocery store comes over, the guy that she works for, and he's like, "Oh, it's okay. It's okay." And I remember when I was watching this movie, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna be Elma's second husband. Like, I know that's what's gonna happen." And that, in fact, is actually, Travis, that's what does happen. But
man, you know what? I forgot to share my thing about my movie watching experience when they was back in the tent 30 minutes ago, commencing to raw dogging up on the mountain.
Well, emotionally, Travis, I've never left that scene, so why don't you just go ahead and tell the story?
You know how that scene was like, whoa, when you first saw it, right?
Yeah.
You're like, man, I can't believe this is in a movie. It's crazy. I was watching, but that was my first indication of which direction that the movie was going in. And me and my girlfriend at the time, now she had an inkling of what was about to happen, and I did not. And we were holding hands. She was holding my hand. And when that scene happened, I must have reacted like whoa, or like, oh, I didn't see that coming. And she squeezed my hand like we were watching a family member die. She like calmly squeezed my hand like, it'll be okay. little straight mountain boy, it'll be okay. And it opened my eyes. I was like, good Lord, I'm changed forever. I just remember her tenderness in that moment, like, shh, just walk.
Just every anniversary when you guys watch the movie, you guys don't ever talk anymore. You just send her a postcard that says thank you. Just every year.
Yeah. It was good for me. I hope it was good.
Well, back to the movie. Yes, they did the boom boom, and the grocery store scene happened, and then we're going to cut back a bit of time has passed, presumably at least 9 months, and Lurleen has been with baby and has now dropped that baby out, and that's how they say it. They say drop the baby out.
I like how you're so careful through this episode, then you just drop babies out.
Well, she has. She has been with child and then went into labor and then delivered this child into this beautiful world that we have all created. And we meet her dad for the first time, and he is very dismissive of Jack. He, like, throws the car keys at him and tells him to go get something, and we go like, yeah, this relationship's going to be problematic in the future.
Yeah, I don't like that dad. I'll be honest with you.
Well,
Kev, I don't like
I'm not a big fan of him either. He does get put in his place, maybe, later on in the film. But we cut back to Ennis, and in fact, they have moved into that nice little place over top of the laundromat that Alma was so fond of. And he comes home from work, and he's kind of doing a few things, and out of nowhere, Alma says, "Do you know someone named Jack?"
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's just a postcard. They didn't send nudes back then.
No,
so.
he did send a nice scenic shot of a mountain.
Imagine sending a nude on a postcard, though. Brave.
You got to look real good to want to do that. Like, I just don't have that kind of confidence.
Would they even send it? Would they stop that in the mail, or would they let you send a nudie postcard?
I would be willing to bet in care packages sent to soldiers, like at war.
Oh, I'm sure. But I mean, like, through the mail. Just, like, not in a package. Oh. Just a postcard with a
I bet not.
With a wiener on it.
I bet not.
You think they'd stop that?
They probably would be like, yeah, this doesn't. Some kid might.
But who's going to make that call? I mean, it's just
the postmaster general. Like, they got a lot of power.
Is he looking at all the mail?
Yeah, he looks at all of it. I mean, this is before they had the big fancy sorting machine. So
I like the postmaster general's like, send me all the horny mail. I want to look at all that first.
Yeah, he keeps this for his personal collection.
Fair enough. Okay.
Especially in the 60s, it's hard to come by. Well, anyway, Jack has sent a postcard to Ennis saying that he's going to be coming through town and he sure would like a visit. And Alma is like, oh, okay, that sounds nice. I'd like to meet one of your fishing buddies, right? Because that's what Ennis tells him.
That's what he refers to him.
His fishing buddy. So they do make some plans to meet vis-a-vis postcard. And we cut to later the day where Jack's going to arrive, and Ennis is nervous.
Oh, he's smoking 4 packs of cigarettes, sucking down a beer bottle, sitting at the window, shaking his knee. It's almost like, I still get excited when I order Domino's. That's how I am waiting for the pizza to come.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you just watching out the window like, is that? Oh, no, it ain't.
Oh, my God.
Man, you just
Damn.
Oh man, I'm gonna get them garlic knots too.
Come on.
Well, anyway, he is very nervous, and he actually drinks quite a few beers. I mean, there's like 7 or 8 empties sitting around him.
It seems like their thing too. Like they both got to get quote unquote lubed up to get brave enough to express themselves. So that always seems like a thing where they're anytime that they commits to each other in that way, they're both smashed.
Yeah, they're having some drinks. Well, this is another one of those moments where Ennis ends up not being his horribly repressed self. What happens is he sees Jack pulling up, and he goes out there and just grabs him, and he's so happy, like he's almost dancing out the door to go see Jack, and they kiss hard, dude. They kiss hard.
That had to have hurt his nose, dude. His nose is ruined.
He kind of pulls him into the stairwell where hopefully nobody could see it, but guess who does see it, Travis? Alma sees it.
Yeah, he pulled it into the stairwell directly in front of the front door of his house. He might as well have just walked into the living room and been like, I have sex with this guy.
Yeah, it's pretty. And she is... And
it's in such a way that you can't mistake it. Like, if he had just walked up and gave him a peck on the cheek, you could have maybe been like, oh, I was just telling him a secret.
Yeah,
but no, they were eating each other's heads.
Yeah, it was very aggressive. And, like, you could see her just take a full-on cannonball into the river denial. Like, she is just like, this is closes the door, doesn't want anything to do with it. So a few moments later, Ennis comes in with Jack. He's like, oh, this is my friend Jack. And Ennis is like, well, we're going to go out and get ourselves good and drunk, and I'll see you later. And they kind of catch up briefly that they both have kids now. And almost like,
He also says, like, I might not be back tonight.
Yeah. He's like, when we get to drinking, I just don't come home. You're like, what? What
is happening?
Dude, the 60s were wild, weren't they?
Dude, yeah. And she's just kind of like, can you get me some smokes? He's like, I already got you something. They're in the thing. I won't be back.
I won't be back. Well, that is exactly, and the door closes, and there's just this moment of her. Oh, it's heartbreaking. Like, it is heartbreaking from her perspective, too, as well.
Of course.
That's
why this movie it's a complicated story.
It is. Well, we cut away, and they're now Ennis and Jack are post coitus in a motel room.
How do you know it's post and not pre?
They are way too relaxed for it to be pre. You mean that aggressive kissing in the stairwell?
Technically, it could be both.
It's probably in between. It's like a middle sesh.
Refractory. Yeah.
But anyway, they're cuddling and kind of catching up. One of my favorite lines here is, that they have to be careful, that this that this thing takes a hold of them and all that sort of stuff. And Gyllenhaal's character Jack says, "Old Brokeback got us, didn't it? Old Brokeback got us, didn't it?" And Jack, this is the first time that he kind of floats the idea of them kind of being together, and Ennis says that they can't be together, like that this, they just have to be able to stand this when they can, or get this whenever they can. So we cut the next day, and Ennis comes in. Alma has been awake all night crying. There's no other way to say it. You can see. Her eyes look the way Doug's did when I went and saw him.
Oh, is that right? Real puffy like that?
Puffy and just red. It's rougher on Doug because him tears drying the cracks, crow's feet around his eyes. And it's... anyway, I don't want to go back to that place emotionally. Let's stay here in this moment. Mm-hmm. Ennis is packing up all of his stuff, and he tells her that he is going to go fishing with... Jack, and there's some weird vibe between he and Alma. Like you can catch on to it, I can catch on to it, Alma can catch on to it, but Ennis seems pretty oblivious to it.
Yeah, and I think to me it would have been like, we're not a match when you wanted to name your little girl Alma Jr. That would have been I'd have been like, maybe we shouldn't be together. That might have been the first question I asked on a date. Like, hey, if you had kids, what would you name one? She's like, well, I'd name it after me. I'd name it Alma Jr. I'd be like, well, maybe Art move on down the line and find me a good boy.
Dude, frankly, I love the name Alma Jr. I think it's terrific. I love it.
Really?
And I love that he calls his
weird.
daughter Junior. I love it. I love it. I don't know why I like it so much, but I love it.
It's different.
Well, he leaves as she cries into her child's shoulder. And it's pretty sad. Oddly enough, she's not upset about the kid being Junior. She's upset that her husband's going to cheat on her with a man, or just cheat on her.
Just cheat on her. I think it's more of it.
And so they head to the campsite where they're going to be camping out. They do some naked cliff diving, which you could not pay me enough for. I mean, that's one way.
Oh, did you do it clothed?
Yeah, I do. I do it clothed. I'm just like,
what's the difference?
I'm not putting my taint at that much risk.
What do you do? How do you dive?
That's how you
dive.
Well,
weird.
they're diving. They're jumping in. I should say they don't dive in like head first. They jump.
Oh, that's how you get it clean.
Okay.
You hit it with enough impact. It's like a natural bidet.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'll leave that up to you. Okay, you and Heath can do that. I'm gonna sit there and cheer you on.
I just like a clean taint.
That's fair.
Sorry,
That's
don't.
Fair. Well, once again, they're drinking by the campfire later on. They make a little joke about not having the harmonica there. What's this? What is the joke? He's like, the Lord answered his prayers because he didn't bring the harmonica.
Because it sucks. It sounds terrible. Yeah, it's funny.
Jack again says, well, it could be like this always, you and me together. We could get a little ranch and Lurleen's dad will probably just pay me to go away. He hates me, which is wild. And then Ennis tells Jack about the dangers. Jack probably in some sense knows that it's dangerous, but he doesn't really,
of course,
internalize it the way that Ennis does. The reason that Ennis does is because growing up, there was a gay couple that lived near him. And one of them was murdered, beaten to death for being gay. Horribly just brutalized. I believe his genitals were tied to the back of a car, and he was drugged until they were ripped off. And Enos's dad took him to see the corpse in the ditch where it was left.
And he suspected his dad might have even done it.
Yeah, he said his dad might have even done it. And it's like, woo! That scene hits like a Mack truck. It's pretty brutal.
It colors the character, it colors the dynamic, and it obviously paints a picture of the times. Also, outside of that, the casting of that little boy to be Ennis, a young Ennis, spot on.
Yeah. So very, very impactful scene, and we see the real seeds of them kind of having to deny this real love that they have. Well, we move forward a little bit in the future, and we're back in Ennis's, and this is that scene I was talking about where they're just having a full-on shouting match as Alma leaves to go to work, and then the kids are just kind of taking it in stride. He just comes back by, he's like, you want me to push you on the swing? So nah, Daddy, we're fine. Okay.
Yeah, we're good. Y'all just back doing your own thing, ain't you? Just yelling and fighting in the front of the neighborhood.
But life is getting lived. Jack is selling farm equipment. We kind of see that. And he's getting pretty good at it. More time.
And Anne Hathaway has a blonde wig now, which should be a crime. That's weird.
Yeah.
Like that.
What do you think of her hairstyles as this movie goes on?
I mean, it's
very 1970s. It's what the times. So.
Yeah. I mean, she's adorable no matter what, but yeah, I like her personally better with as a brunette, but that's just me. Doesn't matter what I think. It's her hair.
Well, Lurleen and Jack are having very marital conversations about the child raising and so on and so forth as Jack is packing up to go on this fishing trip with Ennis.
Fishing trip.
Right. And kind of cutting back and forth, and Ennis is packing up as well. And he shows up, and he is. They show up. They kind of meet at the campsite this time, and man, you know what? Ennis brought a couple of horses so they can kind of relive the old days.
Oh yeah, yeah. Back when they were making love around horses. It's I guess it adds something to the situation.
Yeah, Ennis brings the horses, and they have another, kind of romantic tryst weekend. Life moves on, as it tends to do. And we kind of see Ennis's domestic life again, and Alma asks about kind of going out on a Saturday night just to do something, and Ennis is not in favor of it. He just doesn't like going out, but what he does like doing is maybe having a little bit of sexy time with Alma, doing the business. So they're doing it.
He likes the business.
He does.
Big business guy.
He's a big business guy, and so they're doing that, and Alma kind of stops him and goes, with us already having 2 kids and us sort of strained for money, I would feel better if you used protection. And he says, well, if you don't want no more of my kids, I'll just leave you alone. And she says one of the most savage lines. She's like, oh, I'd have more if you'd support them.
Got him. Got him.
So he rolls off of top of her, and they both angrily go to sleep, and we know that divorce is not far behind. We know that because that's literally the next scene.
That's the next scene.
They're getting divorced, and we it's just a divorce scene. It's very quick. We do find out that Alma gets custody of the kids. So the next scene, we see Jack is riding in his truck. He's singing "King of the Road." He's excited. He's found out that Ennis has gotten a divorce, and in his heart of hearts, he thinks like this is it. Like we're finally going to be
my
together.
Chance.
And
forgetting that he also has a wife, but
and a child. Yeah,
and a child. Yeah.
Well,
finally, I can cheat with my cheater, and he'll be guilt free.
Again, I think he just really wants to be with the person that he loves, and he also acknowledges that his marriage is very perfunctory with Anne Hathaway.
There are casualties everywhere, Kevin.
Exactly.
There's consequences.
No one is blameless in this, except for maybe Alma. She tries as hard as she can. God bless her.
I guess. I mean, what did Anne Hathaway do?
She had a miserable father.
Lurlane. That's not her fault.
That's true.
She showed you one of her breasts. You go easy.
I mean, maybe she participated.
That's a neighborly
Maybe
duty.
she at least acknowledged or participated in a murder. But we'll get there.
Oh,
yeah, that might not be so good. But the kids are blameless too. They don't.
Oh, kids are blameless. Absolutely.
But they seem to handle things in stride for the most part. But Jack did think that this was the time that they were going to be together, and he shows up. And Ennis has got his kids for that weekend. That's the one weekend he has his kids, and so they can't really spend any time together. And Jake Gyllenhaal is pretty upset about this. He tries to take it in stride, but he leaves, and he drives away, and he doesn't go back home. Instead, he goes to Mexico.
Yeah, where all good things happen. Whenever you do something right, you go to Mexico immediately after.
Well, he cries his way to Mexico, and he's very upset. And he, while in Mexico, finds a sex worker who is male to have a tryst with. And we get the idea that this isn't going to be the last time that he does this. It's kind of a
man has needs.
Wild scene. He kind of walks up to the guy, and they greet each other, and then they just walk down the alleyway into the darkness. It's very not subtle, but also still a little subtle. It's an interesting scene.
I thought they went down there just to play craps or something. You're telling me they made love?
Yeah, well, they made something. Well, back at Jack's after this tryst in Mexico, it's Thanksgiving. They've got the turkey. He brings it out, and there's a bunch of power play that happens with his father-in-law here. His father-in-law basically tells him to get out of the way so he can carve the turkey.
I hate this father-in-law so much.
I think you're meant to. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I get wanting to watch football. I get it.
Yeah, it's fair.
But I mean,
that's fair.
It's not your house.
It's not. What happens with the football, Travis, on the TV?
Oh, he tries to turn the Jack doesn't like the football being on because Lurleen just cooked a turkey dinner. Took her 3 hours, Kev. These boys need to focus on their meal. It's not time for football. But Dad says, oh, football's good for them boys. It'll toughen them up. It's 70s football. We're not even wearing face masks yet. And Jack's like, I said I wanted the TV off. And then the dad goes to turn it back on again. And Jack says, you stop it right there. This is my house. You'll respect me and my authority. And that kind of put an end to it. I don't know if right then, like, the dad maybe had a little respect for him because he was like, oh, standing up for himself a little bit, showing some backbone, or if he was just literally afraid of getting his ass handed to him.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but he does take a back seat. He allows his son-in-law to have his moment. And of course Lurleen is smiling and quite happy that her husband's kind of growing into a more dominant role, shall we say, or leadership role within the family.
Assertive,
yeah. Well, we cut to Thanksgiving at Alma's, and this is her new place with her new husband, but Ennis has been invited to have... How cool is this new husband, or how chill is this new husband? He's like, yeah, sure, invite your ex-husband over, and the kids want him here. It'll be fine. So invites the ex-husband over for Thanksgiving dinner. Isn't that wild?
It is pretty strange. I don't know what to say, Kev. I don't know what to say.
Well, I just want to say I was right. She definitely married that guy. She definitely married the guy from the grocery store.
Both ends of the spectrum, though. You got a rugged, marble-mouthed cowboy in Ennis, then you got this cowlick, slick-haired grocery store manager guy. I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah, but he seems to be. She might have just wanted a nice man who could take care of her family, and that's
honestly, he seems nice. Cool. He seems nice. I wouldn't call him dad. I would still make sure people knew he was my stepdad. I would still call him like Randy.
My stepdad. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Well, in the kitchen, after the meal, Alma's cleaning up the dishes, and Ennis comes in. He's sort of helping, but also just kind of talking to Alma, and she. Essentially, this is where she unloads a little bit. I don't know. She's been holding on to this resentment. This is the time, around the holidays. That's when you just unload your resentment on the family. And she does that here. She essentially says, like, I know what you and Jack were doing because I find this whole scene's hilarious because she tells this whole story about how she put a note in his fishing basket and he never saw the note and the note was still in there when he got back, and that's how she knew he was having an affair. I was like, you saw them making out in the hallway. Like, that's more evidence than a note.
What are you talking about? Like, I didn't know what to make of the note thing. I was what?
But anyway, she's really upset with
your eyes do not deceive you, Alma. You saw two men kissing hard, the hardest you've ever seen a man kiss.
Maybe she repressed that memory for whatever reason. I don't know.
I guess she's tried to excuse it. She was like, he was just trying to suck the venom out of a snake bite.
He was bit on the way to the house.
He got bit on the back of his throat, and Ennis was just trying to suck it out.
Well, anyway, she doesn't threaten to expose Ennis, but she calls him. I think she calls Jack Nasty, which is kind of wild. So Jack goes, and he's like, I know what you're doing, and Ennis kind of grabs her and very intimidating, threatens her a little bit. Again, the husband is like in the other room, and he just kind of goes, whatever. He doesn't even.
He's like, what's going on?
Get out of his chair. He's like, well, hold on a minute. Not in my house. I'm trying to enjoy my cigar. Well, Ennis storms out. Scene. And then he gets into a street fight with a random guy and gets beat up because he's, in an emotional state. So we cut, some period of time later, they're on a trip, and they're kind of camping. The boys are, Ennis and Jack are talking about life again. Ennis asks...
We're in the mustache phase, though, of Jack's sideburn career. I just want to keep everybody up to date.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that mustache. It's not great, but it's fine. It's with the times. And Ennis kind of reveals a lot of his anxiety here. He says, is it normal with your wife, first of all? And Jack's like, well, we don't really do anything. And he says, well, do you ever worry that people know? He's like, I feel like I'm walking around the street and people know, about me. And Jack doesn't go like, yeah, no kidding, your ex-wife knows, so probably half the town knows already. But kind of the way that plays out. But he says, maybe you ought to move to Texas, where I am, and they kind of argue about that. So it doesn't happen. Doesn't happen.
And he brings up this. He has this like quote, this line that he says about whiskey in the stream.
Oh yeah. It's going to be
he
like
brings
whiskey
up here,
streams
kind of
or
repeats
something.
a few times.
Well, we cut away, and Ennis is in a bar, and he's having some drinks, doing what he does, and smoking. And this is when we're going to meet Cassie. And Cassie's a waitress for the bar, and she wants to dance with Ennis, so she forces him to dance, and then she wants a foot rub, and he does that. He gives
gross,
her,
right?
I don't know. I'd be all right with it.
She's been on her feet all day being a waitress. She dances for 2.5 hours, and then she comes over and plops her old soggy, stinky foot up on your lap. It's like, I want a foot rub, and it's all gritty. It feels like it's got sand all over it.
Okay, now that you described
mayonnaise.
it, yeah, I'd be like, nah, you just go and get them piggies somewhere else. You get them.
How about you wash your foot first, maybe, lady?
Yeah,
Come on now.
Gross.
Not a foot guy. I couldn't do it.
But she's very flirty, and we get the sense that there might be a connection there. All right,
It would have been funny though, Kev. If before he started rubbing her feet, he spit on his hand first, would that have been something?
Yeah, at least it would have been a callback, right? Well, we cut away to Jack's, or Jack's life, I should say. And he's at like a big dinner kind of social event, and they're having dinner. It's a big like dance hall kind of thing. Everybody's smoking, drinking, having a good time. A little more upscale than a place Ennis would be, though, because they, Jack and Lurleen are much more successful. So they're at a really kind of classy honky tonk sort of dinner place. I don't know how to describe it. It looks like a club for rich cowboys,
like a Western Sizzlin'. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the Western Sizzlin' is a club for rich cowboys, because they've got a little more money, and they're sitting at a table with the Malones, which is Randall and LaShawn, I think is her name.
Yeah, David Arbor and Anna Faris.
And they're kind of this couple that they're getting in with. And Jack asks LaShawn if she wants to dance, so they dance. And she's very talkative. She's a chatterbox,
It's perfect cast because Anna Faris is always chatty Cathy in every movie she's in, so it was great.
She's almost a little too funny for this movie. Just her vibe and her personality. Like, she's almost just on the edge of being a little bit too much.
Yeah.
So Jack and her kind of dance, and they go to powder their nose, the ladies do, and the two fellas are sitting outside. And David Harbour, again, given the context of when this is, his character is almost with I wouldn't want to say a wink and a nod, but in code, flirting with Jake Gyllenhaal's character and kind of invites him to come fishing and drink some whiskey.
Which it seems like an innocent request to me, Kev. I don't see it as code. You know how many guys I've asked to do that? Not one time has anybody ever thought that I was sending a signal.
Well, it was probably the fact that you said not for gay stuff. It was probably the fact.
But I winked when I said that part. I thought that was.
Are you just disappointed it's never worked out for you, or you just
it's never
disagree?
No one ever wants.
Let me ask:
No one ever wants to go wink fishing with me. I don't know why.
Or are you saying you're disappointed? Or you're saying that you don't think that there was a little romantic tension here, or that there was an offer being made here?
I think you could see it both ways. Like, if you're looking for something, maybe I'm just too naive. Like, I probably missed several passes that have come my way in my life because I'm just like, well, that guy was real nice.
Well, there's a reason I think that he ends up in a romantic entanglement with this man, and I'll tell you why later. Moving along, Ennis goes and picks up his daughter in the next scene, and she's older. She's
she's Kate Mara now.
Yeah, Kate Mara now. She's Kate Mara age at this point, which apparently she was only like 2 or 3 years younger than Heath Ledger in this movie. So
that's crazy,
which is kind of fun. But anyway, they pick him up or pick her up rather, and Cassie is with them, and Cassie and the daughter do a little bit of talking, and I love that you just get like a hint of that. Alma Jr.'s got a lot of Enos's personality, because she just basically tells Cassie, she's like, yeah, you're good enough, I guess. To date my dad, being the implication.
Yeah, they're tight-lipped family for sure. Yeah.
Well, Ennis comes back, and her and Cassie dance. And there's a tattooed lady in this scene, like in the background, that just seems very anachronistic. Like, she is fully tatted. Like,
yeah, you're right. I didn't notice that when I was. Yeah, you're
and
right.
At this point
in
the movie, it would have been like early 70s, and I'm like, almost like, were there women that had like more tattoos?
Full body, upper body.
That just struck me as being
seems rare for sure, especially in this area.
Yeah. But of all the things to find weird in this movie, that's probably one of the not so relevant ones. But they end up driving back, and Ennis is dropping his daughter off, and she wants to live with him, and he says no, but in like a I don't know, a soft letdown. He's like, well, I just got so much going on, and you know, I wouldn't be around very much, and da-da-da-da-da. He just, again, he's so repressed he can't even be close to his own kids, you know?
Yeah, I know, dude.
It's rough.
He's tough cookie.
Well, we
or tough egg. What do you call it? You crack an egg. Yeah, he's a tough egg. You can't crack him.
Yeah, he's a tough egg. For sure, Travis.
Hey, here's what I mean to say. Yeah, he's a tough nut to crack. He's you can't. You're right. This is a great performance of a guy who's just completely emotionally shut off and repressed.
Yes. Well, he lets his daughter down fairly gently as Ennis can do, and we get a cutaway, and they're on another trip, and again they're drinking and talking. And
sure, I bet that's all they did.
No, I mean they had sex later, but like right in this moment they're drinking and talking. I also do get that sense that they mature together, and like, yeah, there's still some passionate stuff that happens, but it's like the love and companionship also. Like they're more open with each other than they are with anybody else in their lives. That's especially true for Ennis. So like I do feel like they long for that as well.
I don't know how they get anything accomplished with all that whiskey.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? You know, they're still they're cowboys. You know, it's
just like smacking each other with a pool noodle.
Like, yeah, that's
keep it all in.
Okay,
keep it all in.
That's what Jack said. Well, they're kind of talking about life, and they talk about their relationships kind of interestingly. You know, Ennis talks about Cassie. Jack again says his marriage is kind of perfunctory, and he also tells Ennis that he's like having sex with some other guy's wife, which is wild. He's just a rouse.
These boys get around.
He does. And then he gets very quiet, and he tells Ennis that he misses him so much sometimes he just can't stand it. Which is rough, man.
Yeah.
And they sleep together in tent. Well, the next day, Ennis says that it's going to be November before they can see each other again, and Jack is pretty upset about this because he thought it was only going to be a couple of months, and Ennis waited till the last minute to kind of tell this to him because he knew it was going to be a bad deal. And this is where they have that like very intense, I wish I knew how to quit you, that whole scene. And Jack,
one of my favorite lines is this is a goddamn bitch of an unsatisfactory situation.
Yes And that's from,
I want to say that all the time now. That's my favorite line ever.
And it is, he's not wrong, it really is. Yeah, they have that whole scene, and this is it kind of comes out through the conversation that Jack's been going to Mexico for these gay relationships that he has there, and Ennis, it's so interesting because Ennis knows that Jack is sleeping with women, and that doesn't bother him, but when he's having another gay relationship, he gets, I assume, jealous. He goes into a rage, and he's like, you know,
that's our thing.
All that stuff I don't know about, could get you killed. You understand me, or something along those lines. He's threatening him, and it's like, it's wild. And then they kind of tussle a little bit. They break up, and then this is where Ennis says, I can't survive on a few high altitude, sessions, let's say,
cuckoos,
and I wish this is
Sessions. You're such a Christian.
Well, anyway, Travis, the argument continues to escalate until poor Ennis just absolutely, he's like, why don't you quit me? Why won't you leave me alone? I'm this way because of you. I'm broke down. I don't have a family. I'm a failure. And he's just crying and just, as the kids say, he's crashing out. He's crashing out hard.
Is that what kids say?
Yes, I guess so. I don't know. I seen it on TikTok. But
okay.
Jack kind of takes him into his arms and comforts him once again. And as they're kind of settling this argument down, we get just a little flashback to the good old days, the Brokeback days, and Jake is
back when they didn't have facial hair and their hats were clean and there were no skaters about.
It's just a simpler time. And
just two fellers near a campfire with a bussy full of beans.
Mm-hmm. It just was a simpler time, Travis. And Heath Ledger's character comes up behind him, and they have this very tender moment. He's kind of singing to him, which is very out of character for Ennis. And then he gets on the horse to ride away, and we kind of cut back to the current time, the present day, as Ennis is driving off and Jack is looking longingly as he leaves. And as it turns out, this is the last time they'll see each other in this life, Travis.
Yeah, that's sad. You don't realize that until later on. In fact, the whole, that whole reveal, which is coming up later, is kind of sudden and jarring.
Yeah. But for now, we move on, and Ennis is at a lunch spot. I think he's eating lunch at the Greyhound station, from what I gather. And
I can't tell what he's eating. Is that
it's pie? He's had pie. It's a nice little apple pie.
Oh, okay. It's like a lemon meringue, maybe, or something.
Apple pie. Well, he's at the lunch spot at the Greyhound station, the best apple pie in all of Wyoming. Ugh. And the Cassie sees him and comes over. She's with a new man. And
tall drink of water, big mustache.
Oh yeah, great mustache. And the long and short of this is, he's like, well, he must be more fun than me. And this is where she tells him, a woman doesn't fall in love with a man because he's fun, and that's where we find out that she had fallen in love with him. And he just he basically ghosted her, is what he did.
Yeah, this was news to me because I thought my wife liked me because I was fun. It turns out no, just because I have a great hairline.
Hey, you know what? I love you, Travis, because you're fun. Okay, is that good enough?
Aww. Yeah. That's more than good enough.
Okay, good. Well, Ennis in the next, he gets a note, and that basically it's a postcard that says Jack is dead. And
it's
super, but that's the way it is in life. Just people die with no warning all the time, man.
I get it. I get it, especially in this day and age. In this day and age, there wasn't a Facebook update. You didn't get whatever. So yeah, I mean, this was real, and it for the movie, it's. I like that they left his demise. I say demise. I don't know if that's the right word, but they left his death ambiguous. Because it would be to him.
It would be, yeah, for sure. But I think Ennis really kind of believes that. Well, we'll get into it. So he calls Lurleen, Anne Hathaway's character, and she...
Is it Lurleen or just Lureen?
Maybe it's Lurleen. Yeah.
Weird to bring it up 2 hours in, but I think we've been saying it weird.
Lurleen, please don't take my man. I don't know. Kind of works with the Dolly Parton song, so that's where I went with it. But Lurleen, that's fine too. Anyway, Ennis calls her, and she very flatly tells a story, and suspiciously, in my opinion, about how Jack was pumping up a tire and it somehow exploded and it just destroyed his face on a back road somewhere. And as she's telling...
I've watched enough true crime interrogations to know that is a lie.
Yeah, it didn't seem very genuine. So I don't... And in Enos's mind and his imagination, we see the brutal murder of the gay man from earlier, and we get the idea that this is probably what's happened to Jack, because Enos is kind of warned him that, like, being open to a world that is very hostile could get you killed. And it's a pretty brutal thing. Actually,
also the way she delivers it too, it's kind of like she delivers it in a way where she almost feels like it was justified. Like or not justified, but like she doesn't really have an emotional, tie to his death.
But yet she does, because then she knows that maybe this is the guy that loved him.
Right. Once
which
she
is really
figures
weird
that
too.
out, she does soften up.
So she's like unsympathetic, and then she's sympathetic. So she really oscillates on some emotion here. In my head, what happened was somehow Jack got outed, and her dad was responsible for getting him killed. Is probably in my mind what happened. That makes the most logical sense given the whole family dynamic. But you don't know, because it's just very it's left ambiguous. But not that ambiguous. Well, anyway, she says, get his ashes. His ashes are with his parents, and his wish was to take them up to Brokeback Mountain. That's what he used to say, that he wanted them taken to Brokeback Mountain. So, and this is some great acting in this scene from Heath Ledger too. Like, he is just fighting to hold everything together and not just absolutely collapse on the phone. There's some good acting on both sides here. Like Hathaway as Lurleen or Lureen, one or to other, is really finding her way through this character who's become more cynical and jaded, but like who's probably got a decent core. You just don't know. You don't know. It's a lot to take in, but Ennis does decide to go get those ashes, so he heads to Jack's family's house, and it is one seriously white house. I don't know if you noticed this, like everything outside is painted white, and inside it's just a stark white, barren house.
It's crazy, man. It looked like a dream sequence.
It did a little bit. I think that's probably, I'm sure it's intentional, and I'm sure there's some symbolism that we're probably missing here. I do want to comment on the dad and the mother's kind of dynamic. The mother is much more, you get the feeling like much more sympathetic, and the dad is just, boy, is he a bitter person.
I don't like that guy. I would not want him to be my father-in-law either.
Yeah.
A lot of bad father-in-laws up in this movie, dude.
Yeah, really. I have a feeling that Lorene has almost never met Jack's parents.
There's no chance.
No chance. He also lets slip that, he says, oh, Ennis, I've heard that name. Jack used to say you and him were going to come up here and whip this ranch into shape. You were going to have a little place up here and whip this place into shape. But he stopped talking about you a couple years ago. And started talking about bringing another feller up here. I was like, ooh. That's why I think David Harbour's character and Jack had a little relationship. I think that it did blossom into something, whatever it was. It wasn't who he really wanted to be with, but it's what he wanted. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Well, the mom says, hey, we left Jack's room the way it was. If you want to go, just say goodbye that way, maybe, is kind of the implication. She doesn't exactly say that, but that's the implication. And Ennis heads up there, and he's kind of looking at the room, looking at some of the things, and he looks in the closet and he sees Jack's boots, and that draws his attention, and he goes in there, and that's where he finds the shirts that both of them were wearing on that last day in Brokeback Mountain. And they still have both his blood on it.
I'd have maybe washed it. I guess you want to keep the smell. I mean, if you're keeping it for a sentimental purpose, when it comes to romantic time away up in the Brokebacks, I guess you want to keep the scent on it. But the blood stains a little much.
Well, you ever tried to get one of those out? He probably did try to wash it.
You think?
Yeah, but maybe not. Maybe he wanted.
I know, and Jack, he left it filthy.
He left it filthy. I do. I think so.
But the reason they left it stained with the blood on it, honestly, is just for the visual callback.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is it's each of their shirts intertwined, right? Like one's inside the other on the hanger, which I think is, I mean, that it doesn't take an English major to figure out that symbolism. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And Ennis has a moment where this is brilliantly acted, by the way, where he's like crying and hugging the shirt, and it just, oh, dude, if you don't tear up a little bit at this, you're just heartless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Got no heart.
No heart.
If you don't cry at that.
Well, he hugs it.
That shirt hug.
And that shirt hug gets you, dude. Oh, man. Ooh. Oh, boy. And then he brings it downstairs, and Mom kind of sees the look on his face. Mom, I think, knows, and I think Dad knows, too, that their son was gay. I really think that they know that and have very differing perspectives on it. Like, the mom understands and, like, bags the shirt up for Ennis to keep, and it's like they share a moment, and it's quite lovely. And then the dad very bitterly says, no, you can't have his ashes to take to Brokeback. We're putting him in a family plot. Like, one last little stab at his son. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, that guy.
Yeah, I wish he got eaten by a bull or whatever they're doing out there. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, whatever. But anyway, we cut away. We're wrapped up in the emotion, but we know, hey man, this movie's got to be wrapping up at sometime. And we're at Ennis's new trailer. He's got himself a new place. It's not fancy, but he's got a place, right?
I like I think it's his daughter comments like, "You don't got much into here," and he's like, "Well, when you got nothing, you don't need nothing."
That's true. That's such a true.
It's like, well, maybe if you don't have space for it, but I feel like if you got nothing, you need something.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some glasses.
I bet he's got a pantry full of beans, dude.
Well, speaking of his daughter, Junior, Alma pulls up in a Z28 sweet ride. Turns out it belongs to her boyfriend. And he's a roughneck. He works out in the oil fields, and she tells her dad that she's getting married to him, and she wants him to be there. And it's such a weighty line when he says it. He asks, "Does he love you?"
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's a pretty good question for a dad to ask of, somebody that's marrying their daughter. But
yeah, of course.
He's like, you could see what he really wants is his daughter to have the love that he never had. It's like, dude, oof. If I don't get you, I don't know what will. But she wants
that shirt, maybe.
That shirt. Well, hold on. That shirt's gonna come back, Travis. You just buckle up, Buttercup.
All right, sweet pony.
Thank you, SP. And she wants him to come to the wedding, but he starts talking about, I got to be out cowboying, doing this and that. And you see him make the decision.
He won't even go to his daughter's wedding. Like, buddy, put the cowboy on the hold.
Well, that's been his reason. That's his excuse to keep this distance between those people that he loves, because he, again,
can't say fishing no more. He doesn't have any more friends. They're all dead.
True enough. But you see him make the decision. He's like, you know what? They can fire me from this cowboying job. I'm going to your wedding. And
thank you.
She's happy. And they drink some tequila, which is pretty great.
Also, it should have been a given, personally, but whatever.
Yeah.
Glad we're happy.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. I mean, look, again, this is a big step for him, right? Like, he's putting aside the things that have made distance between, and I think you are starting to see him kind of change here. And he's like on the cusp of 40. Like, he's a 40-year-old man at this point, right? Because, like, Jack was killed when he was 39, and we've had a little bit of time pass. So, this is a big change for him to actually start to be open a little bit and to try to show up for things. And anyway, she forgets her shirt, or her jacket, rather, when she leaves, and he goes to hang it up in the closet, and that's where we see that he's got Jack's and his shirt hung up together in that closet, and the postcard of Brokeback Mountain tacked up next to the shirt. And his last line of the film is, "Jack, I swear."
I swear.
And he doesn't
by the moon and the stars in the sky.
But he doesn't say what he's swearing. What does he swear to, or what is he trying to say to Jack there?
I think it's just an exclamation like, "Jack, I swear you get my heart a pitter-patter, and you get me all turned up. I miss you, like, I swear, what have you done to me, Jack? I'm an emotional mess when it comes to you."
I'm trying to take a more positive spin on it, and I do believe, because and Ledger, his performance is very good, and you could take away what you want from it, like a good performance. But given that he's just made the decision that he's going to be there for his daughter more, I think he's swearing to change. Like, I think he's going to try to be a better man, a more open man, and he's going to try to be happy for Jack, because Jack doesn't get that opportunity. And that's the only silver lining that I could come up with, because this movie is fucking grim in places, dude. Very, very grim.
It is, but that's complicated stories make great stories. That's why it's a movie we're watching today. No one's going to remember this if it doesn't have all of these complicated feelings at the end. It's just a romance with two gay guys. But it's more than that.
Yeah. I mean, it is also that, though. Like, I mean, movie theaters, we just forget how the world can fucking sometimes. Like, this movie was not shown in theaters because it just featured a gay relationship. Like, theaters refused to show it. They said it was controversial at the time, and that was not that long ago.
I know, it's silly, right?
Yeah, it's such a good movie too. I mean, it obviously was a huge success because people did in fact love the movie and identify with it, but it's like,
and again, it's such an emotional investment. When I say, like, it's not one I would watch again, it doesn't come from a place of, like, I find it gross.
No.
It is, like, it's a heavy movie.
Yeah, exactly. When we got this one, we got to watch the movie a few times to be able to do a podcast on it. And I was like, I just don't know. I don't know if I could take the weight of this movie to watch it again, but, got to do it.
And it's a departure from what we usually do. It's less fun than our other movies. It's longer than our other movies. But man, you trade in some of the zaniness that we've been accustomed to here recently with just, I mean, this movie was snubbed pretty hard when it came to accolades.
Oh, I got
I think
things to say about that.
I think it was Crash. Mm-hmm. Was that the year?
Yep.
Which is a movie that's just very heavy-handed.
It was a garbage movie. It's not a garbage movie, but it's just not very good. It's very forgettable. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it tried too hard. There's something about that movie. But this, I don't know, this was just, the performances are so good, and the story, even though it's, it's a Daniel Steele novel with cowboys, it's still so good.
I mean, it's a Larry McMurtry cowboy novel where the cowboys have sex, so, that dove ain't so lonesome no more, and then it is very lonesome.
So lonesome and sad.
Dang, dude.
But the thing is about, no one ever hates doves, and that's where it differs, Doves aren't persecuted like these men were.
I mean, I think the end of this, you know what? The music in this, it's what it sounds like when doves cry.
It honestly worse.
You're not a Prince fan, I can see. Well,
no, I like Prince. I just think the music in this wasn't good.
Oh, okay, terrific. Well, Travis, who cares what we think? I know I don't. I've stopped caring what both of us think years ago. But let me ask you this. What about those post-credit reviews?
I got a few here. Sorry, we're running late. But when you're up on the mountain, you get to sheep time. Sheep time slows down. All right, listen up. We got
you know what? I will say, sorry, just talking about the pacing of this movie, you could cut out about 30 minutes of it of, like, awkward silences.
Yeah, honestly,
I will say that.
Yeah, you really could. You really could. Yeah, there's a lot of really needless scenes. We got five stars here from number one Gizmo fan. This is from August 2017. Imagine wanting to kiss someone so bad that you literally almost break your fucking nose trying. It's true. That's true. We talked about it.
If nobody has ever kissed you like that, like, man, you need to be in some more passionate relationships. I want somebody to break my nose all day. I want that love.
Day.
I'll deviate my septum for you, girl. You know what I'm saying?
That septum was so deviated, dude.
Mm-hmm.
5 stars here from Ellie, March 2020. Yes, I'm 99% sure the foreman was a homophobe who turned Jack away that second summer for homophobic reasons, but there's a tiny part of my brain that refuses to dismiss the possibility that he really just wanted sheep herders who would watch over the sheep instead of fucking.
I think there is a valid argument there. Like, he might have been upset about the relationship, but, like, legitimately he did have a gripe. Like, they did not take good care of the sheep. Like, He had some fair gripes. I'll leave it at that.
I like that one. That would have had over almost 10,000 likes on Letterboxd.
Wow.
It's a pretty popular one there. Then we got a 2.5 for here. So we're getting into people a little lower on it. This is from Callum, August 2019. Literally didn't understand a word Heath Ledger said in this film.
I mean, I got like 60.
I had to have subtitles. For the first part of the movie, he is really tough to understand.
So I'm at the age where I watch every movie with subtitles now. Like, I can't hear my movie. I think they did something to the audio in movies. Like, if I watch older movies, like, I can understand what the people are saying. But, like, more modern movies, like,
There's so much bass. Like, what's going on? Yeah, I feel you. We're old. Well, then we got a 2.5 for here from Hannah Pfeiffer. All right, this is back January 2020. Of course they started fucking. There wasn't shit to do on that mountain.
Why do you hate me, Travis? Why do you hate me?
Put the cuckoos in. That's a good time. It's true. I mean, it could have just, have you ever discovered your sexuality through boredom? That's what they did.
I mean, look, I'm grateful that they found love on the mountain, but like they could have brought like a Scrabble board. Like there was room in those mules for some things to occupy. He had a harmonica.
I'm sorry, did you say there was room in those mules for things to occupy?
Yeah. Yeah, they had pack mules, so like I didn't mean like physically in the mules. I meant on the packs. I misspoke.
After sheep time, I get to. I'm sorry. 2.5 stars here from Freddie. Freddie with IE on the end. February of this year, just about a month ago from time of recording here. Spent the first 20 minutes talking about beans and sheep, then randomly started. Oh, okay.
It didn't feel random, you know.
It kind of did, though. They're right. 20 minutes of beans and sheep, and then all of a sudden, we get in a little bit of a tussle. Now we're having tent love.
There was some flirting. There was some flirting before then. You know, it was casual. It was casual flirting. You know.
I don't know. I'm just so naive to flirting. I don't see it. Then we got a 1 star here from Gabriella. All right, May of 2024. Watched this with high expectations, but this film disappointed me. Personally, I thought they had absolutely no chemistry. They met up to have sex and fight. Where was the love? Good that Alma got away. I felt bad for her. Honestly, this film just wasn't for me. It felt like a cheap, worse, gay version of The Notebook. But 1 star for the cast. They all delivered amazing performances. Also, Anne Hathaway was a shock to me because I didn't know she was featured in this film.
Okay. All right. I mean, I frankly thought Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger had good chemistry. But hey, what do I know? What do I know?
I think their chemistry might have been a little too good.
Yeah, right?
What if the movie wasn't originally about the gay cowboyness and they just made it that?
Yeah, they were just like, listen, I got to tell you something, Jake. I can't stand the way you ride that horse, boy. Whoo! I got rid of the beans.
Yep. I got one more for you here, Kev.
Okay.
So 1 star. I'm going out on this one.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So 1 star here from Angel of Briar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like the ice cream?
This is from, I don't know, April of 2021. Having anal sex right after you just ate beans and also there's no lube. It's just not realistic, sis.
You know, it's this
another good point.
Yeah, it's the sis at the end that got me. That's I mean, I'm not getting into that conversation. Nope.
There was spit.
Whatever.
We can move on.
Good for them. Good for them.
You can always use the bean juice.
Okay.
It's not like they were completely without options.
You don't have to make the bean jokes, okay? Just so many.
I don't have to. I'm just thinking they had things at their disposal they could use. The beans, if they didn't want to use them for food, they had another way they could use the beans.
I wish Heath Ledger was still alive, not only for his acting chops, but to stand up to you for these bean situations you keep putting me in, Travis.
Come on now.
Well, Travis, on a budget of $14 million, Brokeback Mountain went on to gross over $178 million worldwide and be nominated for and even win some Oscars. Although it lost out on Best Picture to Crash. Seriously, Crash. But this film did its part to shatter stereotypes and share some really wonderful, nuanced performances from Ledger and Gyllenhaal, all set to some breathtaking scenery and great cinematography. The themes of forbidden love, longing, societal discrimination, and loneliness permeate the film's 2-hour and 14-minute runtime, wringing some serious tears out of even the toughest of viewers. Nearly 20 years later, Brokeback Mountain remains a testament to the power of love in all its beauty and sorrow, and a reminder that the most painful stories are often the ones that need to be told.
Well said. Also, 2-hour and 14-minute runtime like this episode.
Oh yeah. We've been going a little longer these days. I'm not gonna get so long-winded in future episodes. I'm gonna dial it back. All right, so just be prepared for the brevity of Kevity.
I like that.
Thank you.
I don't like that you're doing that, but I liked that name.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
All right. Well, I'm excited for the next movie. I hear that it's not necessarily Christmas that needs saving, but perhaps a jailbreak.
Okay. Are you being honest with me? Are you really being earnest with me right now, Travis?
I am.
Well, if you enjoyed this episode, you might like our other podcast. You can catch me on the board game podcast, Blue Peg, Pink Peg, and On Stage Being Funny with Big Lick Conspiracy. You can catch Trav there, too. You can also catch Travis on Polykill, Drunk Friend, and on a roundup of other podcasts on the Polymedia Network. If you want to keep this podcast herding the sheep, then support us on Patreon as the Polymedia Network. And we have to thank our pal Harvest Black for that theme music we just don't know how to quit. And just like our Uncle Doug always says,
Brokeback got us good, don't it?
Two souls on windswept Brokeback's crest, hearts stitched in silence, love confessed. Beneath wide skies their truths ran deep, a love too wild, a pain to keep. Through years and loss their echoes stay, a mountain holds what words can't say.